What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live. Right off the bat, got me and your boy Lane. We will have some other guests joining us. Guys, I just want to say right off the bat, kind of want to get this out of the way. Nice. I just want to say Sean did have some health issues this week, so he may pop in, even though Lane and I told him not to because he's literally in the hospital bed. But he might pop in and say what's up to everybody. But we do wish him the best. He seems to be doing all right now. But I just wanted to let you guys know that right off the bat because I know you guys love when Sean's on with us. And
and if you had any questions or anything right before he pops in, like what's going on?
Yeah, because he may pop in, and I want you guys to be confused if you see him laying in a hospital bed because he's in the hospital until tomorrow. But how's everybody doing tonight? I see some familiar faces. We got some early birds here in the chat. JC says front row seats. Hey, the best thing about live streaming is everybody gets a front row seat. Speaking of Sean, here's Sean with us right now. Sean, we kind of briefly told him that you're in the hospital right now, but we just wanted to give him a heads up. Did you just want to say what's up to everybody? Are you going to hang out for a little bit, or what are you going to do?
Hi, everyone. I'm going to hang out for a little bit, and then
cool.
I'll probably have to come and go. Just depends on who walks in the room or not.
That's dedication, everybody. I could tell you this right now, even though I'm the host, if I was in the hospital, your boy would be sleeping. That's what I'd be doing. But yeah, let's say what's up to some people. Thick Bantha Boy, as always. What's up, my dude? I hope you're doing well. Demetrius says, hell yeah. How's it going, man? I hope you're doing well. Leighton, as always. Good to see you, man. The Collector, my boy. I hope you're doing well. Smoke him if you got him. Smoke him. I saw you making some snide comments over on the Sideshow live. I was cracking up. Hope you're doing well, man. Boba Fettuccine, good to see you as always, my friend. OG, how's it going? OG says he's listening while he mods his first hot toy. What hot toy are you modding, OG? You got me worried, man. Your first one. What are you doing? Is it extensive work, or is it something more simple for your first mod? TK rolling in that Sideshow stimulus money. Hey, I think we're well beyond the Sideshow stimulus money. Good evening, Clone Trooper. But guys, we got a decent amount of stuff to talk about tonight. As you guys know, it is New York Comic-Con time / Sideshow New York Con time. We're going to talk about that. Unfortunately, the Sideshow New York Con so far has not been too exciting in terms of new announcements. But we're going to get into that. But first, one that I know a lot of you guys probably are eager to talk about because you haven't had many chances to yet. Is going to be Black Adam, everybody. It's funny. We briefly talked about Black Adam last stream, and there was a conversation of whether we thought this was going to happen or if this was going to be another Shazam situation. And we told you guys, like, this was a sure bet just because it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This movie has a lot of hype behind it. And it seemed like something that they were certainly going to do to capitalize on that hype and make some money. And as you can see, it happened, and it happened in a grand fashion because we actually got 3 different SKUs from this release. But guys, I'm pretty impressed by this one so far. Just based on what we've seen from the prototype, I'm pretty impressed. Now, I did say there's 3 different SKUs. So we have the base collector edition here. This is the normal, basically all black suit version. You can see he has these blue kind of lightning effects. Me personally, geez, it's getting a little blurry here. Me personally, I think I like the Golden Deluxe the most. I just think that's the grandest look. I kind of like the trim going down the lightning bolt and such. I think that's going to be the one I end up picking up. Now, if this movie absolutely blows me away, maybe I'll end up getting both. But as of right now, I only have plans of getting the Golden Deluxe. Lane, kind of give us your thoughts on this this Black Adam figure as we go through these photos. Is this something that interests you at all, or are you kind of indifferent about this one because the film hasn't come out yet?
I'm kind of indifferent about it, at least right now. This is, I got to see the movie. Like, I like them to clarify. I actually love Black Adam in the comics, like the comic version of Black Adam. I'm not going to say like I'm the most knowledgeable person, but from like Jeff Johns' run of Black Adam, like Black Rain and stuff, where he really made the character really cool. Like that's definitely influence on this version of Black Adam that'll be in the movie. Like just honestly, anything DCEU, I got to see the movie, or I got to be excited to see the movie. With Black Adam, I don't think it's going to be a terrible movie, but it may be, an average movie. It just kind of depends how it's handled. Like I think The Rock's going to be good. The Rock has the physical, verbal.
He
charisma.
certainly has the physical.
Yeah, well, yeah. In here, he's got the. That's like almost Hulk Hogan big without necessarily full.
A little bit of everything, right? We should say.
Yeah, I like the costume though. I know we'll probably take a look, especially when we look at some of the other versions of this. Now, the base one, honestly, I'm going to say I know it's 300. Correct, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir. 300
from Sideshow.
Yep.
Sideshow pricing.
And that's before taxes and shipping, as we always say.
So it's probably going to be 325 or 330 or 335.
The latter,
Yeah. I honestly, this is one of the times I can't think, and it's a DX. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot this was a part of the
DX. It is a DX, yep.
Sorry, just need to get that out of the way real quick. But honestly, I cannot see a reason to buy this version of it, the base version.
Yeah.
Because it's still a pretty big price jump from the regular to deluxe, and normally, like I'm actually leaning more towards, because with the diorama bases, there's some of them are gotten so big and stuff, I can't even think when I would use them much, unless I had, a big Maja case. But even then, if you're trying to have a big group pick, like say you're trying to do like a big DCAU thing, so all the DC figures,
right? Like a hero ensemble.
Yeah, Justice League, Black Adam, all the different versions of like Wonder Woman, if you have the big wings out or whatever, is that those diorama bases now, where they're cool, they take up a lot of space. But the pricing for this 300 versus 360 to me is different than, say, and maybe this isn't the best example to use, but it's for more recent big diorama piece, the Spider-Man Friendly Neighborhood, because that's 300 versus $445.
I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, there might be a little bit more material there, but I think that's a fair comparison.
Because that's 100. That's a hot toy. That's, to put in comparison, that is like half the price of this hot toy. This guy, recent, more than you're paying for like that particular diorama. Now,
and it's a bit more complicated of a design as well on the actual figure. You could see here.
There's been Toby's not the best, because there's been a previous. Now this one is obviously probably been completely. His figure's been completely redone. Comparison to the old one, because it was so old.
Oh yeah, it's a huge improvement over the original.
But this part, what I would say for to make a case for this to be a DX figure, I know we've had some talk like, is the DX line dead? Because we've had some things like, is that new Luke a DX? Is that Ahsoka, from last year, especially the Ahsoka? I think that's probably the one that's sticking people a little bit. Is that really a DX? And there's a deluxe of the DX, kind of this argument.
Yeah, the DX line is getting certainly watered down compared to what we're used to seeing in the past,
But I think with this suit, with this Black Adam, you can. I don't know about having a deluxe and a regular one. Why isn't it just like this is the regular figure, and the one that comes with the base and stuff? Why isn't that maybe that's the DX version of it, and this is just the regular? Why call it DX and then Deluxe DX, which just sounds stupid.
Yeah, so you can see here, I mean,
there
isn't much different between the standard and the deluxe. That's a kind of a cool shot there where they have him sitting.
Yeah, that base though isn't a full throne, because it's like 1,000 years and been
right
by time.
Right.
I will say that the suit. I didn't mean to make you switch from the suit, like when we had the close-ups. I think that's the part that you can make an argument about this, how this is a DX figure, leaving out the deluxe version of it, regular. Man. Yeah, is the detail in the suit, but the functionality with the light up effect. This is something I think that it's different. I think, from what I understand or what's been discussed, I'm not going to say like I know this breakdown exactly. I'm not going to sound like a made up know it all. But I think with the light up functionality of the suit, like that's something new and original. So I think you can make make the argument. I'm not going to say, this is a DX suit. This is a DX one. And you guys are stupid if you don't think that kind of thing or something. Well, there are people who will carry on like that.
But Yeah,
I think the
we get it.
functionality.
Yeah, we get what you're saying.
I think the functionality of it, you can make the argument. Now, I don't know about the regular one. To me, the regular one would be just. I think that should just be that's the regular Black Adam, and then you could call still the deluxe version of this a DX version of the figure. I don't know why both have to be a DX in a bigger box.
Yeah,
You know, taking up more space.
they want to sell that base, man. That's an easy way for them to hike
I
up
know,
that
but
price. That's what it is.
That's my point. What if they called this deluxe one? They just called that's the Blackman DX line one. Don't have DX deluxe and DX. Doesn't that just make it more confusing?
I don't know. I mean, I get why they did DX across the board, because then it would kind of like water down the DX name even more, because then they're like, oh, well, we're just throwing in a base and that makes it a DX.
How does that help with Obi-Wan? Obi-Wan's a DX, but there's only one version of him.
Well,
how they should have made this a DX was basically put the black and the gold version into one with the two head sculpts, and you get to choose which head sculpt goes on which one, and then only have one cape with the hood, and have one dynamic stand and have one regular stand, and this should have just been one thing for a true DX, and everyone would have been happy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, unfortunately, it seems like these DX2 packs are kind of a thing of the past right now. Obviously,
we get two head sculpts.
I know. Obviously, like the Luke Skywalker DX07 pack is like legendary at this point, because we haven't seen anything like that in a while. Just the amount of stuff it comes with, but I don't know. I mean, the price is definitely scary, guys, and a lot of you in the chat may agree. It's getting high. I mean, just for the base version, it's $300, and then we're looking at $360 for this one.
$400.
Right. So at the end of the day, with shipping and taxes, you're pushing $400. Now, is this a figure that I am interested in picking up? Yes. Mainly because I think they did a really good job from what we could see in the prototype. And it's The Rock, and I don't have any Rock figures. And being that I'm a fan of The Rock, I would like to have the figure in my collection. But I think that comes with a price tag now, significantly more than even before. And it's very unfortunate. But
I think Bantha Boy nailed it right on the head. If you see his,
this one.
No. The one after that, it's down a couple comments at 620. I think that nailed it in my response to my comment. Yeah. Both deluxes, because it's La Roca. Those eyebrow raising, tequila pushing, test 200 chugging mountain.
Yeah, I got you.
That's it right there. So think Bantha Boy. I am convinced that is probably the most eloquent way someone could explain how this is a DX, and you just got to smell what The Rock is cooking.
Yeah. Now, see, if this channel ever does get monetized, The Rock is going to claim this video because I just did that. So you're welcome, Thick Bantha Boy. Let's read some of the comments here as they're stacking up. Wow, we have a lot of comments about Sideshow Stream. Matt says, "Hotline, what's up, brother? How you doing, Matt? I hope you're doing well, man. Good to see you." Eric, good to see you as well. Eric is saying I guess he's saying the Sideshow stream was horrible. We have a lot of people saying the Sideshow stream was horrible. Yeah, guys, I mean, so far it is just day one. It's possible they're saving the stuff for later in the event, but it's not looking good right now, because previous years they have shown some stuff early on, which kind of threw some people off, because I'm sure you guys remember they showed everything and everybody's like, oh, is that it? Or are they going to show more? And usually they just showed everything on the first day. Or at least the first day that they do the booth tour.
Well, they kind of did show everything, but even said, "Oh, we're going to talk about this more tomorrow."
Yeah, so it's like
okay.
Yeah, in terms of Hot Toys releases, or excuse me, new figures and announcements, we haven't seen anything. And statues too. Yeah, they didn't really do much in terms of statues.
There was one statue that was, I think I didn't watch the whole thing, but I know at least on and off when I was watching, there was one PCS statue that they were like, it was a new reveal kind of thing that wasn't being shown. But they even said a lot of the, like when they first were getting to the Hot Toys, because they were focused on like more time on Star Wars and DC stuff. Marvel's primarily, they did show all the Marvel ones.
And it's all stuff that you can get right now.
Much of it, yes.
Yeah.
With extra highlights like on, that wonderful Chrome Stormtrooper.
Right.
Like who had his own little pedestal all to himself.
And they're like, oh yeah, he's almost sold out.
Well, yeah, no, they didn't go that far, but he says it is available right now on our website.
Yeah, they said They said in limited quantities remaining or something like that. But yeah, interesting for sure. A little disappointing, but what are you gonna do?
They didn't. Even, I was hoping they were gonna have this guy there, actually.
Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, and Chris made a comment. He said no Mace Windu there either. It's like they didn't have anything new.
Euler.
Not even Mace Windu. Yeah, I was laughing at Euler's comment. Euler said the Golden Deluxe comes with a burger and fries and a red box.
No, Euler, I wasn't talking about that. I was genuinely, sort of surprised that they had the Aeon Flex. That seemed to be the one a lot of people were responding.
Yeah, I think there's a reason a lot of people reacted to that one.
Well, yeah, well,
it was those cheeks. That's what everybody was reacting.
Well, you know what the amazing thing is with that statue though? It's 40 inches tall.
Yeah,
I mean, it was
bigger than the Witcher statue that they showed.
Yeah, that was crazy. Anyway, sorry, we're not here to talk about statues.
And same one says, feed the algorithm, leave a like. Take a sub on the way out to Hot Toys Hotline on this killer panel if you haven't. Appreciate you, Insane One. I think I may have missed you. You were the first one in dropping your early comment, but thank you, dude. Yeah, guys, if you're here and you haven't liked the stream yet, please do so. Also, if you're not subscribed, we do have a giveaway going on right now. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
Yeah, I'm going to give just a thing to people to shout out to quick Euler. Euler puts out some very funny short videos and stuff and has had some really funny posts and stuff like that on Facebook. He has
Oilers is the man. Oilers is the man.
He has a very, very good sense of humor. Very good sense of humor.
And that's why we love
him. The Hot Toys.
Yes, sir.
And figure and collecting in general.
I mean, he was the only person that had the balls to put his Chrome Stormtrooper on his toilet. You got to give him something for that.
I remember that.
Moving Creatures, good day. How you doing? Kinky Sphincter. Always love seeing your name. I no one wants to ever read your name, but I'll do it for you. I'll read it out for you.
I had to say it the other day, but I said it very poorly.
I'm sure you did, but hey, at least I said it before you, so I kind of set you up for it. But yeah, guys, Black Adam. I'm not super happy about the price. Do I think this is a very nice looking figure? Absolutely.
And he's a big chunky, but is he bigger than I don't know, heavy infantry Mando? He's probably similar size.
Probably close to it. Heavy infantry Mando can't talk. Maybe a little bit thicker because he has the armor and such. But this is, as we saw, this is a specially developed body specifically for this figure. So this is one that we haven't seen yet in person. No one will be
having cable complaints about this guy.
Well, so you never know. And maybe it'll show up and everybody will say he's too skinny. But guys, let us know what you think in the comments about this figure. I saw a couple of you say you're not too sure if you're going to grab this one. I think due to the price, if you're not like a massive Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson fan, you're going to be waiting to see that film to say like, okay, now I want this figure. And that happens a lot. I mean, that's happened to me before.
There's nothing wrong with doing that either, especially
not at all.
It's a character you may not be we know Superman, Batman, stuff like that. So maybe you don't before the Batman came out, maybe you weren't 100% sure about it, but hey, it's Batman. So I at least have a cursory interest where if Hot Toys did a figure, I'm going to look at it because it's Batman. Maybe even if you like the movie, didn't love it, but you're a Batman collector. This is a perfect rendition. It's not super, super expensive because if you looked around, there was a billion Robert Pattinson. If you like Pattinson Batman, you have got a billion choices.
Yeah.
Now you want to get them.
In our
get them for different
third party, everything.
Everything. Or statue because
or statues as well.
Scales. And so I'm willing to bet tomorrow. Sideshow's supposed to be coming up with, because they've got the quarter scale, which is him. If you want the Bat Cycle, they're doing the statue with him in the Bat Cycle they showed at Sideshow Con. So that might be coming up. But
that one will be cool to see for sure.
So even for the Rock here, you've got, now I don't expect there to be too many more than this, but you've got this. InArt said they are doing this guy. So InArt will have Hot Toys. I didn't know if you were going to get into that a little bit.
So we're going to briefly touch on some InArt stuff towards the end. But yes, InArt did mention they were going to be doing this guy.
So they got comparison for this, and how many SKUs will they have? Because they seem to love to go.
And the thing is we've made this joke in the chats, guys. But what is InArt going to do for this one? Rooted eyebrows, maybe.
Never put it past them, man. Don't put it past anybody doing something.
Being that that's their signature. We joke about it, but who knows? I will say I do expect, based on InArt's so far only recent history, it seems like they try to focus really hard on the details on the suit. So maybe we'll see some better details on the suit from them.
This suit looks pretty good, though.
It looks very good. It looks very good. They're going to have to come out and play for sure. Absolutely.
Well, you make the joke about the rooted eyebrows, but even if we had some things with this, with like how loaded, say, this gold armor deluxe version of him, for a 6 scale, they're going to have to do something unique with their version of the figure. It can't just maybe it's slightly quote better, or the costume is a little bit better made. They have to do something to distinguish their figure from this one. Because if like that, let's say that, and I hate speculating like this, but I'm just going to say just random. Let's say their figure, because who knows how many. My problem with InArt was like that Batman hit.
What do you think of this idea, Lane?
Magnetic eyebrows. Great. So we could stick on, so there'll be these eyebrows, and maybe he'll get.
Yeah, and then you get that eyebrow.
Those thick eyebrows that, from if you ever saw the David Lynch Dune, the guy who was the Mentat guy who had those super thick eyebrows and stuff. Like he gets the he powers up, and The Rock has those thick bad boys hanging off the thing. But we made the joke, but InArt has to do something for their figure that is different or help stand out versus this one. They have to do that since, hopefully here in the next couple of months, we'll see their first figure put out. But I think if they're going to do a direct competition figure with this, like Pattinson Batman, I think was cool. But to me, that Pattinson Batman had way too many SKUs. It's like 8 different things.
Easy decision. Just get the best version and you forget about all the other SKUs.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, as you guys, and we're gonna check the last chance page, of course, before we end out here. But he's still hanging on by a thread. So if you guys are looking to grab the Batman Deluxe set with the bat signal, it is still in stock on Sideshow if you purchase from Sideshow. So, or excuse me, in stock for pre-order, not literally.
I think Off the Rack still has them actually in stock too.
Yeah, so you'll have other options when he sells out on Sideshow, but typically that kind of starts
that's the start to cascade of failure.
Exactly, because everybody's running to the next website, then running to the next website. That's usually what happens.
Now, if you were going to get one of the, and this is to chat too, of anybody, not if you just from having looked at these figures and just for your judging of them, which version do you guys think, if you definitely like $400 dropped its way out of the sky on you and you could buy it, which version would you get? Me, it's this one, the gold armor. I think this one is by far the better one.
And someone, I forgot who mentioned it in chat, but someone said, and maybe it was Matt, said that he was wearing the golden armor outfit at San Diego Comic-Con. So that does make it kind of cooler. But I just think it looks better. It just looks like this is like the Super Saiyan version of Black Adam. That's what it looks like to me. This is like the upgraded version of Black Adam.
Golden armor version of him, though. I'm like
Golden Armor Wonder Woman.
Well, yeah, no, it's just because I'm like he looks more like
the hooded look, man. So
badass. It looks more like Super Saiyan 2 Black Adam,
right?
Because he's got all the lightning going around him. And stuff.
Yeah, I just think the yellow effects look so much better. Yeah,
and with the light up effect and stuff, it seems to maybe function a little bit better than the blue. I think this is going to be a real
Wolf
good
Moon.
figure.
How's it going, my friend? I hope you're doing well.
And to you in chat, here's another question to you guys. I know I'm being like Mr. Question Man.
Yeah, he's like the questionnaire, the Riddler. That's what you are.
Well, I just am. These are thoughts that I've had in relation to this figure. So this is relating to some things we've talked. Yeah, the purple. Unfortunately, I don't think
that one's cursed, man. I agree, Late Bloomer. That's a sick figure. Those colors really pop, and it's like they keep teasing people with that. I mean, I think they showed it again at New York Comic Con,
or it was
San Diego Comic Con. Sorry, but I don't know, man. It seems like kind of like that Star-Lord T'Challa. I don't know if we'll ever see that again, and if we do it might just be a tease.
Or that Hawkeye.
Zombie Cap. Oh, please don't tell me the Hawkeye, man. I just got the Kate Bishop. Don't tell me that, Lane.
Well, sorry. That's why you got.
Oh, Oilers. Lane, I'll let you read this one.
Okay, we have 5 sphincters, the eyes, mouth, the prostate for men. And you know what for ladies? And we got all the pooper. We don't even know which sphincters.
Oh man,
Thanks,
it sounded even worse coming out of Lane's mouth.
But do you guys think, now we've seen recently, now this is a different level of necessary figure.
A lot of gold fans.
Yeah.
Look, Wolf Moon, did you just get enticed by how we were talking about him to grab that figure?
Mm-hmm.
I know you told me it's payday for you. That's bad news, man. You came on here and pre-ordered a figure.
Well, I did that just before I fell into that trap. I did that just before on Sunday. I pre-ordered the Purge Trooper.
That's a great figure, man. I'm
Yeah.
really excited for that one. By the way, Safel, good to see you. I hope you're doing well.
Hello.
Not sure what you're saying in terms of the InArt version, but maybe you're talking about possibly picking up the Black Adam from InArt.
Euler man, why did we have to go there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's not highlight that, please.
All right. So I just wanted to say that most people seem like they want the golden armor version, which is good to hear. But hey, that may mean that standard version is going to have low pre-order numbers, and that might be the grail out of these 3 SKUs.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing I wanted to go. What we've been talking about recently, the last couple of weeks. Now, this is I think a quote different level figure than some of the ones we've seen, like Gilgamesh and stuff, which is also still in stock off the racks, as well as Kate Bishop is still off there for basically the price listed, or maybe I think $5 more on Sideshow, but that would ship in tax. There's your cheap plug for the night. There's my Mick Foley cheap plug of the night. But do you see that this could be a figure that could be one? Now, not right away, but I mean, maybe 6 months from now, after the movie's been out, the hype's died down and stuff, and he's gonna every figure eventually, even like you watch Obi-Wan, is kind of tumbled down the pre-order list. The DX version,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Now it's that one. I don't expect you're gonna have to worry about that. I don't think that, at least for a long time.
He did well enough, I'm sure, in that initial phase for them to stock him a bit heavier.
Do you think this could be, because the movie could be terrible? And that could kill a lot of interest.
It could, and also, as you know, DC is not in a great spot right now. They're kind of in between transitioning to
we don't know. Could this be a one and done for Black? We don't know if this could be a one and done for Black Adam.
I mean, if the movie tanks,
well, even if it does reasonably well, I mean, let's say it does good, like I don't know, it does like does 500 million, 550 million, so it's a movie that makes a little bit of profit. So it's not a $1 billion movie like Aquaman.
Yeah, I see this one having definitely a heavy open for sure, just because of the amount of hype, and it's Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
And there's not a lot. Well, it's coming around though at the same time Halloween is and stuff ends. But that's going to be also on Peacock, so that one's going to get hit a little.
Yes, good point. Also, I'm a big horror fan, as some of you guys know, but I still think like DC fans are going to trump horror.
Yeah. I'm not saying I think Halloween Ends would do better than this, but
hey, you never know. I mean,
it might take some of the chunk out of what this does opening weekend or within the first couple of weeks.
This could be one of those movies that does good opening weekend and then just completely falls
like
off.
Doctor Strange. Tom. Yeah. Now Doctor Strange did $950 million, but
which is no slouch whatsoever.
But I'm just saying, because the only reason I'm bringing this up, like, let's say this makes I don't know, $600 million. So even if it costs,
the movie will tank.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
But let's say it makes $600 million or 650. So it's obviously not a failure, but I'm sure this had like 150 million.
Barely made enough profit,
Yeah, where it was sort of profitable, but with the guys who are in charge right now, that this is a one and done movie. They made the money back that they needed to, so they didn't lose money on it. But the likelihood, unless and I think it's entirely possible this could be a one and done movie for Black Adam, which maybe makes the figure a little bit more collectible long term, because there's not like 3 versions of him within 7 years. Right. But for the figure availability, if it does well, but we got no idea if the character is ever going to show up. Maybe something happens to The Rock, or he just doesn't want to do it for whatever reason. He changes his mind and doesn't want to do it anymore.
Yeah, anything could happen. Also, too, it's like we have to think that most of these recent DC figures have not done well in terms of numbers. And that's not that they're bad figures. A lot of them are incredible figures. They're competing with Star Wars and Marvel, which is the recent hotness and has been for a bit, because
and in their base market, they do better. I'm willing to bet probably more likely.
Certainly, for sure. And exactly. So in Hong Kong, I'm sure the numbers are much better on even Star Wars. Of course, Marvel is the bread and butter in Hong Kong. But so, yeah, absolutely. It could turn into a modern day grail, but we don't know. We don't know.
I think it really depends on the movie and how it is. I think if there's good word of mouth for the movie, so a lot of people in chat, and we want to go see it. And I think then we're more likely going to see better sales on the figure. This is a figure, unlike sometimes say certain Star Wars figures or something, which has a track record for lots of stuff, lots and lots and lots of stuff, because in different formats. This is the first time Black Adam's
right. This is a new IP on screen. So
yeah.
it's like
So if it does all right, but not great, like I'm not saying Morbius because that movie kind of bombed, sort of. It still, I think, made enough money to it.
Woo! Look who it is.
Hey, sir. Wow, you look like.
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can hear you.
So much less stuff.
Okay, hold on.
You have as
Sorry
many
about
details
that.
as I. You got as many
Perfect
details
timing.
as I do.
CMB and Chris rolling through at the same time. How's it going, boys?
Chat? What's up, people? Hope everyone's doing all right. It's a little bit different here, as you can see. I'm in a different room. Kevin moved out. He took his shelves with him, so I'm forced to put some figures in the only T-tops until Connor gives me his, or I pay for him. Really.
Yeah, Chris and I are working it out. Chris is going to end up taking everything I got behind me, apart from the figures. He ain't getting those, but he will go home with one figure though that I'm holding for him. But
well, I already have dibs on the Praetorian Guard.
Hey, that one's not for sale right now, pal.
I didn't know. You were just going to send it to me.
Was I? I don't remember we made that agreement. I don't know. Did anybody in chat? Do you remember us saying that? I don't think so.
I'll send over you that email later tonight. Just don't look at the original date or anything like that.
Right. But Chris and CMB, since you're just coming through, we're kind of sort of wrapping up, but we'll kind of get your thoughts on this Black Adam figure. We're also kind of talking about the value on this figure in the future. I know CMB, quite a bit about the situation with DC and such. So I kind of want to start with you. What are your thoughts on this figure? And then what are your speculations on the film? Do you think this film's going to tank? Some people in chat are saying they think this film's going to tank, or do you think this might bring a little bit of light on the DC franchise that's kind of been missing as of late?
All right, let's see. I'll start with the figure. I'm totally looking forward to it because I think that it's Dwayne Johnson. The head sculpt's phenomenal. The figures, they tried new things. We're getting a new body. New like LED light system for his chest. Just everything that they said that they're doing new. Like we're getting new materials that they're trying with this outfit. Getting a new body mold, new lights, perfect head sculpt. Hell, they're even throwing in the damn people's eyebrow head sculpt.
Oh yeah, you missed it earlier. I hit everybody with the people's eyebrow. I had to.
Oh, nice. I did miss that. But for me, it's a do. Like, I'm going to get this, and depending on how the film does will determine if I'm going to get the regular version.
Dude, I said the same thing earlier, dude. I said the exact same thing, man.
Yep. And if, it does well, then I'll go for the regular as well to have both.
Exactly.
If it kind of misses the mark, then I think I'm just going to go with the full power mode, golden armor version. Just because even DC, going into with the second question, with DC... DC is projecting this movie to bomb.
Yeah.
They even feel that this movie is going to bomb. Their test groups were not that great, and they had originally projected this movie to make anywhere from 75 to 80 million total. And now they're thinking that it's only going to bring in 50 million. But then the other synopsis on the board is others are thinking that it's going to do phenomenal and that the 75 to 80 million is going to be opening weekend. I don't want to speculate on either because obviously I didn't see the test screening. I don't know.
It's hard to say.
I've only seen the trailers. But
right.
I want to go in it optimistically. But given DC's latest track record with their movies, their budget, how much they spend on the movies, how much it brings in, it's very bad. They're hurting. They're broke. DC and Warner Brothers both admitted after the Discovery Channel, the reason why we're not seeing so many DC movies is literally because there is no budget for it. They're broke.
Yep.
So I'm hoping this movie does better than what they're thinking, and then it'll help add to their budget so they can actually start pumping out more. Because I know that they are excited about Flashpoint, that so far out of the 3 testings that they've shown the audience, every single time it has come back with phenomenal reviews.
Yeah, so
even with Ezra's drama.
Exactly. And that's kind of what I was saying. It's like if this movie does well, it could kind of shed some light back on DC. I mean, obviously the Batman was also a hit, and it's definitely a fan favorite in compared to many recent DC films. So if this one does well, it'll kind of propel DC forward into this new kind of era of DC where they're going back to the drawing board and kind of redoing everything.
When's its official release date again?
October 21st.
So it's
yeah,
right.
so it's right around the corner. October,
Yeah,
that's
right
the thing too. Lane brought this
It's
up
with
earlier.
Halloween too, like that.
The thing is, though,
They're both
and
gonna be
I
out
think
there.
CMB would probably agree with this, and I mentioned this earlier. As much of a horror fan as I am, I don't think this movie will have a tough time competing with Halloween, just because I feel like the amount of DC fans there are far outweighs the amount of horror fans.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, it's unfortunate to say that, but you guys can look at people's 6-scale collections. There's not a lot of horror figures unless they're doing like the really expensive custom stuff. So I don't think this will have a problem competing with Halloween. It will be interesting to see them compete with each other, though, because they're both going to be very big films in the box office, at least in the opening weekend, I think. I hope it does well, though, man. I really do like Dwayne a lot, and I think he has a lot of positive enthusiasm for this film, and I hope that translates to his acting role. So we'll see. I do agree, though. The figure is incredible. The price, we already know the price is getting a little crazy. $360 with taxes and shipping from Sideshow. You're looking at about $400. So it definitely stings. It's not the right direction that we want to see with pricing, but definitely well said, CMB. I couldn't agree more. Like I said, I actually mentioned that earlier, that if the movie does well, I may be tempted to grab the normal suit. And then grab the deluxe as well. I'm definitely going to get the Golden Armor Deluxe for sure. There's no question I'm grabbing that one. But if I'm really in love with this movie, I mean, kind of like the Batman, I absolutely fell in love with that movie to the point where I want all of the stuff that Hot Toys releases for it. So that very well could happen with this one. Who knows? As I'm talking about that original suit, Raxus says the black version sucks the big one. Come on, man. Now, the Golden Armor is better, but...
I'm excited for the movie because supposedly Black Adam's got a huge kill count in the movie.
Right, which is like, that's what we want to see, man. We want to see these OP heroes / anti-heroes doing some work. That's what we want to see. I mean, that's why everybody loves The Boys. That's why everybody likes The Boys so much.
That's a big reason why it didn't do so well with the testing screen, is that a lot of people that went in to watch the movie had no idea about Black Adam's origin or who he was. So they were expecting to watch an anti-hero movie like Venom or Morbius. But when they were introduced into a straight up villain, that was their biggest complaint in the test screening, is that they didn't know that they were watching a villain. And I was like, well, that to me then shows hope for the movie, because then that means the fans who are going in and who know about Black Adam, that means this movie might actually rate really well, because the audience that it's being shown to, most of them know Black Adam. They know he's a bad guy.
Yep. Exactly.
So it might actually do well. And I'm hoping it does well, because then it might show Discovery, seeing how they took over, that, hey, look, Black Adam did well. So faith, right? Have faith. It did well. You know, maybe we should.
We're still in the game.
Start making other movies, because, you know, you guys were projecting it did bad. It came out good. This might give Discovery that little push to be like, you know what? Let's move some stuff, allocate some budgets, and try to bring the DC cinematic universe into play, like, you know, like how they want it. They want to do the whole 10-year Feige plan with DC.
I think,
but that requires a budget.
Smashing his hope button a little too hard. I don't have that much faith.
Hey, I have faith. I have faith. Now, the thing is faith can be misguided. If the movie doesn't do well, then hey, I'll eat my words. But like I said, regardless of whether the movie is good or not, I will be grabbing the Golden Deluxe Golden Deluxe DX. I will be grabbing that one. But I hope it does well, and I totally agree with Cigars. I think this movie doing well is very important, and I think it could positively propel things forward for DC as a whole. So. And it seems like a lot of people are very skeptical in the movie, for sure. Blackbird text, sorry, I didn't see your comment earlier. How you doing? Good to see you. I hope you're doing well.
It needs to do well though, because if it does, well, we're gonna get the Black Adam versus Superman. And Dwayne Johnson even said, if Black Adam versus Superman gets greenlit, he will not do it unless Henry Cavill reprises the Superman role and Ben Affleck reprises the Batman role.
It would only make sense in my opinion.
Yeah,
and Warner Brothers said,
unfortunately, I could do it completely out Batfleck. I hate Batfleck.
I like
it ain't about you,
when
Lane.
He's low on my
We
list.
all
But
love
Cavill, yes sir.
Cavill
yes,
being
sir.
back, yes, that
Yes,
I will
sir.
completely go for. But Batfleck can kind of ride
I liked
his
that.
motorcycle bike. Oh, supposedly too, Ezra Miller's back, like filming more reshoots for. Flash.
Yeah, I mean, you remember we talked about the three options they gave him, and it seems like he took the best road for him. But we'll see if it sticks. You know.
So he goes back to his cult farm.
Give it some more time. He's gonna mess up.
Exactly.
All I know is
Dude is
I'm-
literally on a self-destructive path. He's his own worst enemy.
Couldn't.
all I
Yeah.
know is at the end of the day, I think I'm gonna pick this figure up too. Connor.
I mean,
knows
you're a
I'm a
wrestling fan, bro. You
fan.
got to.
It's
You
The
got
Rock.
to.
It's Dwayne Johnson, man, and I know whoever's not picking it up, he would probably tell him to shine it up and stick it up their candy hat.
Oh, that's funny. That's what I was talking about when this figure first released. I would say, shine it up real nice. Hold it up into the light so it shines bright. Turn it sideways. And shove it up your Rudy Coo.
You damn right.
That's hilarious,
Yeah,
man.
If you don't want the Black Adam figure, you get two head sculpts. So you can literally take the people's eyebrow, get a Feiston body, and boom, make yourself
Easy
Either that
kit
or if a
bash,
third
yeah.
party ever did it and the sculpt was terrible, you could put this one on it.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure there's
would
like
do it.
some sort of third party body or something out there for like a WWE Rock. But Insane One makes a good point here, and we say this a lot. Yeah, or you could just like there's people that have been dyeing the Feiston bodies and having pretty good success with it. So you could definitely match the skin tone pretty well doing that from what I've seen. But Insane One makes a good point, guys. You can separate a good figure from a bad movie. And again, we've seen that with the Neo figure. That movie was trash. It sucked.
Hey, we can separate from a character the freaking Taskmaster.
The Taskmaster, right? That's a great figure.
Well, a lot of people
the character
didn't-
was whack. Morbius, another one, yeah.
figure looks great.
Well,
Looks
let's
awesome.
wait till the figure comes out.
I think it's going to be good. It looks the prototype looks awesome. So as long as they deliver, I would agree with Morbius. Yeah. But guys, we've spent a lot of time on Black Adam. This one, all right, guys, before you see this and you start leaving because you're like, oh, we get that crap out of here. I just want to touch on it briefly because we have not shared our thoughts on this. And I mainly want to talk about the price. And I think you guys probably know what's coming. Yikes. Yikes.
So this is only three. I mean, it's still a good chunk difference, but versus the quarter scale Mark IV with the gantry, this is $400 less, and it's a completely different scale, and it's a color that nobody likes.
No, so
it's $5 more than the original, but you don't get the head sculpt.
This is like, how much is the tumbler? This is like the tumbler price, right?
Yeah,
the
tumbler
$4 more.
I think the tumbler is $620.
So this is more
Scout
expensive
bike
than
and
the
Scout
tumbler.
Trooper.
Yeah, the Scout. So it's like one.
Well,
and guys,
$125, $135.
Yeah, it's very expensive. And guys, we're not going to sit here and crap on Neon Tech for those of you guys that are fans of it, but it's obviously not a crowd favorite whatsoever. And
Hey,
being that it's not a crowd favorite, you're gonna go ahead and charge $640 for it, and you don't think it's gonna sit. I see this one being cut off very early in the pre-order stage. So if this is excuse me, I can't talk. If this is something you do want, you may want to pre-order this one earlier than later, because I do see them cutting off the pre-orders for this one pretty early if they continue to do what they've been doing recently. Just because this one's going to sit just like all the other Neon Tech stuff, because one, it's Neon Tech and a lot of people don't collect Neon Tech, and two, it's $640. I do think it looks cool. Like, I think some of us could admit it looks cool, but do I want it? Absolutely not. Not for $500. I don't want it. This one's not one I'm considering picking up at all. Now, if someone was like, oh, hey, you want this Neon Tech Iron Man with gantry for $300 down the road, maybe I couldn't say no to that, but the price just completely throws me away. And as we said, even with the Black Adam guys, the prices are getting higher and higher. And Cigars kind of predicted it a couple streams ago, where he was saying this may be the new norm. $300 may be the new norm, and it kind of seems like it's going that way, unfortunately. Now, as we also mentioned, they're going to go back and forth and kind of throw us a bone here and there and say, here you go. Here's one for $265. Here's one for $285.
Or it'll be lesser known characters where they have to put the price point maybe even
That
cheaper
or
than
it
they want
comes
to.
with
Well, what
Like,
they're going to do is
like the Inquisitors or something like that, which are
psychology.
$260.
When you plan to raise the price, what you do is you'll bring out one item at the new price, and then you'll bring out a couple items at a lower price, and then you'll bring out another item at the new price, and you'll do it until you feel that your customer base has become desensitized to the new price, to where you can start dropping the new price and people won't bat an eye. And that's what Hot Toys have been doing. If you follow the track, you know what, like 5-8 months ago, we went from 270 where we were freaking out, and then they trickled into the 285, and they did 285, a couple figures at 270, 260, 285, a couple figures at 260, 270, and then boom, 285, 285.
Well, even like premium format statues for, I mean, Sideshow now, they had some that were in the 580s and stuff, 585, and now that's minimum 600 or more.
Yeah, exactly.
Raxus, I don't think Tron fans are looking for a Neon Tech Iron Man.
Hey, you know, the one thing I have to say, I actually love the gantry for this. I think the gantry.
No, it looks cool.
Awesome.
It absolutely looks
But I hate
cool.
the Iron Man.
I think it looks
Iron
cool.
Man.
I really do. I do think it looks cool, but not for that price. But Chris, you wanted to say something earlier. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I could be like biased and like blind to the price of Star Wars, but it doesn't seem like. I mean, there have been some in the 300, but I don't think it's hit as hard as like the DC and the Marvel ones have.
Yeah, I mean, the Boba Fett 2-pack was up there, and obviously the Throne pack was up there as well. But those are also releases that came out this year that were announced last year. So,
and Star Wars has always been cheaper than Marvel and DC with Hot
yes,
Toys.
Which
yes,
is
they
good
have.
to me.
Yeah, yes, they have. If you're primarily a Star Wars collector, it's very good, you know.
But I really think that 300 is the new norm, and in about 5 to 8 months, 315 or higher is going to be like 315 to 320 would be the next new norm, because them trickling out these crazy 360, 345, 515, 640, bouncing back and forth with higher prices. I see the same pattern happening again, desensitizing you to the next price hike.
Yeah. It very well could happen, and it's with what we've seen recently. It's already starting to, unfortunately.
Like this, I'm not happy for it, because my son saw it and was like, "Dad, can I have it?" And I was like,
"Yeah,
I hate my life."
Yeah,
you know, that is your Christmas present. That's it. That's all you're getting.
Yeah, right. I'm already done shopping. Clone Trooper says,
"Buy one, pick one present. Yay!"
Yeah, one and done. That's cool with me. I mean, the price is cool, but hey. Clone Trooper says, Hot Toys could have at least given us the neon treatment, given the neon treatment to a new suit. Why reissue the Mark IV that's already selling below retail? I think it's because a lot of people were hoping to get the Mark IV new in stock reissued. Yeah, I mean, this one definitely is primarily for the Hong Kong Asian market. So we do have to consider that. This obviously was made as a Shanghai exclusive for the store for that event that they did recently. So that makes it a bit more understandable as to why they did it. I'm not concerned about the why. I'm concerned about the price, because why, it's like they're going to make special releases for their store. And people would obviously complain if they didn't make them available in the U.S. So that's why this is available in the U.S. and on Sideshow. So that I understand. It's just the price.
I feel like this was specifically made for the summer showcase, just because when you see the pictures with the lights and the UV.
Exactly. It made a lot of sense for that event. Exactly.
This figure, when you see it under those lights too, the pictures, it's like shining and glowing. It was designed for that release of the store with that whole event.
So it made a lot of sense. In that context, you understand it. But with that being said, we don't have to buy it, and a lot of collectors will not. Raxus thinks that this is like a Tron fan's wet dream. No, I think a Tron fan's wet dream is if they reissue that light cycle. That's a Tron fan's wet dream. I'd buy it for sure. That's a grail. You want to talk about Hot Toys grails? That's a grail. That's a beautiful set.
Revisit it and give us Daft Punk figures from Tron, please.
Dude. Yeah, that soundtrack is like one of the best movie soundtracks ever for me personally, because I was a big Daft Punk fan, especially when I was younger. That was such a good soundtrack. But Tron stuff would be cool, especially because they got that that new Tron ride in Disney World that I don't think it's open yet, but they're still working on it, and it probably opens up sooner than later. That'd be cool to see some more merchandise and maybe a ratio of that light cycle come out. Yeah, exactly. Oilers. It's kind of like the catch-22 with everything. It's like everybody complains that it's an exclusive, but when it shows up to the US, they're like, oh, that's okay. I'm not buying this anyway. So
where is it? That's not
right.
fair. Oh, hell no. That's too pricey for me. They can keep that in China. I don't want it.
Right. You can't please everybody, unfortunately. But yeah, guys, I just wanted to briefly touch on this because I know this isn't like an exciting release for most people. But hey, if you're picking this up, don't let us discourage you. Like I said, I do think it looks cool. It's just not something that's going to fit in my collection. Maybe if they sold the Iron Man by itself and I could get it for like a significant discount, I would consider it. But the amount of space required for the gantry, I'd rather wait to see if we get another Mark IV with gantry, like a standard release, not neon tech. That's just my personal opinion. But Matt says Howard's kind of influenced by the statue prices. It's the world situation. It's in art selling their figures at higher prices. I think Hot Toys definitely has taken note of that for sure.
You're right. What it is it's not just one thing. It is a multitude of small things that are adding up to one giant issue is what it is. And there's just too many factors are in play right now, and that's why we're seeing a lot, especially with price hikes and everything. Yeah. You know, I know some people think that maybe it's Hot Toys or China trying to get the one up on the consumers, but it really isn't, because when it comes to raw materials and resources, that's traded on a global market. And for the global market, it's a set price. It doesn't matter what country you are, the global market has a set price. So the only reason that you would see something cheaper in China is because, well, if I'm a factory in China and I need the resources from the person in China, they're going to ship it to me, but I don't have to pay import or export taxes because I'm in country. So of course it's cheaper. And it's the same thing in the States. Like if I'm a stateside factory and I need materials from a stateside resource person, I'm going to pay cheaper than somebody in Asia because they're not paying the import and export fees. But with the price of the global market of resources, everything going up across the board, that's why we're seeing these price hikes. It's not like them trying to trick us or get one over on us. It's them having to say, all right, well, we're getting charged more materials and everything. So now we have to budget accordingly to be able to afford that and still get these figures out and make a profit at the end of the day, because any business will tell you they have to make profit to stay afloat. They can't just be like, oh, we're going to give you fan service. Guess what? In a month, you're closed. You're broke.
And that's why they have to put out stuff like this where they don't have to create new molds. They're just repainting. And it sucks because obviously we're like, oh, where's our Padme? Where's our Mace Windu? Where's this? Where's that? But as we've mentioned before, guys, these are kind of the releases that fund being able to make new molds and make new projects. And it does sting, trust me, when you see stuff like this pop up and it's not something that interests you whatsoever. You're like, damn, really? But there is a purpose behind everything that they do. They can't, and like CMB said, we're not going to get these fan service figures every other week. You know, it's just not going to happen. I mean, look how long it took us to get another RoboCop, you know?
Look at Cyborg.
Right? I mean, people were fighting for Cyborg, Mark 46.
Service figure. They had no plans or even wants to make that figure. But because the fans kept begging and begging and begging and begging, they finally released a fan service Cyborg. They were taking a loss on that. They know it, but they just wanted to be like, hey, man, look, we listen. You're our fans. We're giving you this figure. You know, we're not ignoring you. But at the same time, you got to understand that we have to make a profit, because if we don't make a profit, guess we're not giving you any more figures. And if we close, you're going to be really mad.
And that Cyborg is no joke either. Like, that was a lot of R&D to put that together. The details, and especially because that's plastic, it's very, very impressive. So that's one I'm really excited for. And all you people that were begging for that Cyborg, you better buy it. Because if you don't, Hot Toys is going to be like, oh, well, you asked all this time for Cyborg and this is how you treat it. Well, you know, you never know, guys. But
this is totally off topic. I see CSI commented CMB with the imposter Mario icon, and I was looking at his icon too. You know they're coming out with a movie 2023?
Yeah. Today, man. It's awesome. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, bro.
I really like Chris Pratt, so I have a lot of faith in Chris Pratt. I'm interested to hear his voice specifically,
Black is
but
playing Bowser. Enough
yeah,
said, man.
can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
If
Can't
you
go
watch
wrong
the
with it.
trailer,
Trust me,
you
it
can
sounded
literally
weird.
hear Jack Black as Bowser, and then when you hear Chris Pratt as Mario, kind of threw me off a little bit because he's not trying to do like the Mario accent and voice that we're used to from the games. It's almost like he's just giving it a New York accent kind of voice, which is pretty cool.
I think it's cool. It's something different. I mean,
Yep.
why
And
try
hey,
to
it had-
imitate the original voice
It
actor?
had
you know?
Luigi running for his life. So what else could it play? A
Yeah,
scared
what else
cat?
is new? I mean, that's Luigi right there.
Like that's like running for a haunted mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make Luigi sound like that.
Nah,
too many stereotypes
there's
now
gonna be
anymore.
too many cancel culture people talking about that's so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah, I could see it now. I could see it now. Oh, whoops. I don't think that is the link I wanted. Stop.
I'm not
Well, they
excited
almost
for this
did that with
figure, but I
Sonic, too,
understand
the
like
first
the importance
iteration.
behind this figure. Because I mean, if we look at it this way, yeah, we don't like this figure, but as long as other people are buying it, then it ensures that the figures that we want will get made because they're making money. So look at the silver lining. You may not want this figure, but you should be hopeful that people will buy this figure, so that way it can continue to add profit into Hot Toys, into Hot Toys'
Like we
account,
said
so that way
before, I
they
mean-
can say, "Hey, we're going to make other figures." And it keeps the cycle going. Like, I don't want this figure, but my son does. So of course I'm gonna buy it for him and whatnot. He enjoys it.
Well,
And-
I don't, but Iron Man's not my guy.
What'd you say, Chris?
I was saying overseas they love it. We've been saying that.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and I'm sure, like Cigars was saying, this is like perfectly fitting in that event because there was all those black lights and everything in the display. So it makes a lot of sense that they came out with this figure. It's just in our market, we look at this and we're like, really? Another neon tech? Do you not realize that these are all sitting right now on Sideshow? Oilers made a good comment here. I want to touch on this and then we'll move on to the next figure. He said these are going way up next year. He's talking about the pricing for the Hot Toys figures. The OPEC decided to slow oil production and we're going to see fuel go back up higher than before, which means all oil derivatives like plastic are about to go up equally.
Yep. That's what I'm talking about. The resources. People forget, like, it takes a lot of oil to make these figures.
Yeah. It's unfortunate, guys, but I think there's a silver lining, and that is that maybe eventually things will turn around. But as of right now, obviously, we've kind of been in a downward spiral in terms of industry since COVID. So it's going to be a while before we recover from that. I'm already seeing gas prices go up. So
they said the projections for the world, the global, because this is affecting us globally, they said it's going to be 10 to 15 years before we recover from this. So be in it for the long run, gentlemen and ladies. It ain't getting cheap anytime soon.
No, it's not.
The problem is once they raise the prices, they're never going to send them down again.
Exactly. No company will ever go back down, because the way they see it is, you want us to lose money? We've already convinced them that they should spend more money.
Yeah. So Carlito's comment here kind of segues us into the next figure. He says, on Sideshow, his War Machine Mark I and Echo charged and went preparing to ship. About a week later, they released in Hong Kong. The morning after, I got a shipping notification with tracking from Sideshow. A pattern, maybe. I do think Sideshow in a way is definitely coordinating with Hot Toys. I mean, we saw it with the Throne Boba and the normal repaint Boba. We were getting those figures in the US first, which is obviously unprecedented. That doesn't happen normally. Normally it's Hong Kong gets them, and then we know that a month or so later we were going to get them. But now it's different. They're kind of playing a different game and throwing us off. So who knows what the future is going to hold.
I think it's to combat the resellers like Toys Wonderland.
Yeah, I mean, that absolutely could be it for sure.
I feel that Hot Toys and Sideshow are both trying to take them down. So what better way than to, that was a surprise release for it to just show up Boba on Throne in the States and not even get released with no blogger photos.
Why am I suddenly feeling like Howard Chan standing over broken Toys Wonderland and just going speaking in Chinese, in Hong Kong, whether English or Chinese, just going, if he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. That's an interesting choice. I haven't looked into the full cast list, so I didn't
Yeah, he
personally
is
know
playing
that.
Donkey Kong, but I
That
really
is
don't
a-
care. Like Seth Rogen hasn't
Yeah.
been relevant for a long ass
Yeah,
time.
that's
I'm
very
like,
true.
You
you
know the
don't really
sad.
have any
You
skills, man.
you
just
guys
got
know
that
what the really
annoying
sad
ass
part.
laugh.
You know what the really sad thing is that Seth Rogen is in charge of a reboot of freaking Darkwing Duck.
And Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Ninja Turtles.
Reboot to the Turtles as well.
Oh.
Yeah, the man's trying to take over our
Well,
beloved
the last
cartoons
Turtle
and
series
warp
was
them.
awful. The last Turtle series was awful too. I hated that, but that wasn't made for anything with my age range or anything like possibly at all.
I like
Yeah.
the Bebop and Rocksteady.
I couldn't. I couldn't.
thought those two guys actually nailed it.
I looked at it and was just like, God, somebody please save me. Maybe it's because I like 2012 too much.
Side note, guys, I've been holding off on watching this preview of Echo as much as I've wanted to watch it because I wanted to watch it with you all. So I have not seen this figure apart from like a couple stills that were posted on Facebook. Yeah, I'm so sweet.
I think this figure looks. I love this figure. I think it looks great.
Yeah, so I saw it in the Sideshow New York Con booth today, but
they chose a weird
I have not
hand,
seen this at all.
A weird arm connection of all of them to use. That particular one seemed kind of weird, but like okay.
Yeah, so we have some comments while we're watching this unboxing of Echo from the Bad Batch. Boba says Hot Toys coordinating simultaneous release of figures between here and Hong Kong will decimate Toys Wonderland and other dealers like them.
And that's the whole point. They're trying to crush that so that way they don't have to deal with them because these resellers, when they put these figures on discount for more than what Sideshow or other retailers have them for, it puts a hurting on Hot Toys as well.
Oh,
like
yeah.
You're taking money. Like Howard's probably like, you're taking money out of my mouth, man.
Money out of my pocket? Really?
Yep. Yeah. I got kids to feed.
Right. He's like, you're not sending any more 90-year-old grandmas and grandpas to sit in line anymore because that stuff's going right to the US. It cracks me up because that's part of it, guys, is it's not only them buying up a bunch of the stock, it's them hiking up the price for us people in the US or outside of the Asian market because a lot of people can't wait and they want to get it day one, so they're willing to pay higher prices. And I'm certain that Hot Toys and Sideshow wanted to combat that, like Cigars was saying. So I'm not surprised by it, but this is definitely like a new territory for Hot Toys and Sideshow in terms of how they're moving. I mean, we've seen it also from sorry, I just lost my train of thought. I was reading a comment. I was reading a comment at the exact same time, and then it just went right out of my head. If I remember it, I'll come back to it. Sorry, I was reading Steve's comment. Yeah, basically, it's like someone drilled into my head while I was talking. Steve asks, has anyone who pre-ordered actually received Echo yet? No, I know of somebody in my Discord that said they will be getting it on Tuesday.
So it's probably shipping this week. But
so yes, people have received shipping notifications as of today. I know a couple people.
So probably next week, by early, like mid next week is probably
right. Earliest I know of is Tuesday, and that's probably if you live in California, you're going to get that fast turnaround time. But
because they may be shipping like either today or tomorrow.
Yeah, Clone Trooper kind of going along with what Boba was saying. He said, it's interesting that Sideshow shipped repaint Boba before the Hong Kong release, but sat on Echo and War Machine and waited to ship until official release. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of those things. They're not going to do it with every release. We're just going to see it here and there, I'm sure, until they decide how they want to go forward with it. Maybe they're just testing it out for now, and then we'll see what they do moving forward. But hey, I'm not complaining. You guys know we've been waiting to get stuff day one, just like Hong Kong. So it's very exciting for us, but I hope that doesn't I would prefer it if it was like a balance where Hong Kong and the U.S. market got it first. And we don't kind of like it sometimes blackball them,
have a month or two lead time, especially if we have multiple figures coming around at the same time. But he's really like
Fad. How you doing? Good point. That's what we were saying, Fad. It's definitely countering the resellers for sure. But sorry, go ahead, Lee.
Right. I just love how this looks. I love the helm, like the Trooper helm for this. I absolutely like. I'm still kind of mixed. I'm still mixed a little bit on the head sculpt just because I think Echo just looks weird. He's like literally if Lobot were made into a Hot Toys figure.
See, I'm the opposite. I think it looks great. Like
No, I didn't say it was bad. I just think it looks weird.
no, but no, I didn't say you did. I'm
character.
just saying, like, for me personally, I'm like, that's what I would have
Well,
expected to see
it's
Echo
not-
look like in a real life adaptation.
Yeah, it's
just me
not
personally.
just Tamura Morrison's head sculpt. This one actually looked like it's been really redone a little bit because I can see little hints of Tamura in it. But it's like if you compare this to the Boba Fett that that came with the throne, Boba you just got, it doesn't look like they look different from each other
for sure. But also like Echo, I mean, if you guys have
he's
seen
a cyborg man, like his
right,
hair
if
is
you've
done and
seen
everything.
especially the Clone Wars, where you see when they're looking for Echo, they finally find him in the state that he's in and how he got to where he is.
It's pretty
I think
awful.
right, and this looks like basically a human that kind of came back from the dead because he almost didn't make it, and like he's got the rotted looking flesh and the pale flesh, and it's almost like Alex Murphy, it's kind of like him.
Well, I mean, literally,
perfect analogy right there.
There's literally an episode of Bad Batch where he acts like a droid.
Right, there's not much.
He's a droid.
He's more machine than he is man.
At this point, pretty much.
Right, so it does make sense, but I respect your point, Lane.
And he practically jelly with how much machinery there is.
We also got to keep in mind, like, it's not the current Boba Fett or like Jango that Tamora Morrison that we see now. It's like these clones were from when he was in Attack of the Clones. Like,
right,
that
yeah.
A lot younger looking. He's supposed to represent a lot younger looking.
He said Steve said he needs some sun. He definitely needs some sun.
But I mean, by the time
he needs more than sun, then boy needs some melatonin pills stacked.
But Boba Fett is I mean, by the time we see him in Book of Boba, he's the same age as Anakin was in like A New Hope. He was 44 or 45 years old. So he's mid 40s. By Book of Boba time frame. Because he's much younger than Anakin. He's 10 years younger than Anakin in the original trilogy.
Can we take can we just side note, can we take a second to appreciate the weathering and the vibrancy of the colors on this armor?
And look, hey, magnets, they did it right.
Yeah, I'm glad to see they continue to use it, but like look at the weathering and the scratches all over the armor. I love how the comma pops so well with that red.
It's the one thing he kept from his ARC Trooper days.
Yeah, exactly. And we just saw that swap out function on that arm. It seems very easy, and that almost seems like kind of a new technology for Star Wars figures because I don't think we've seen anything like that before. It is slightly reminiscent of how the Iron Man, the diecast Iron Man figures have the removable limbs, some of them, but
he's got him doing that Michael Jackson lean there.
He did do the Michael Jackson lean. That is such a nice helmet, though. I do agree, Lane. It's a beautiful helmet. It looks
really
good.
The colors, like that charcoal color.
Yeah, the colors are badass, man.
That's why I don't like the Bad Batch season 2.
That's what I was gonna say. Like people in the chat, we're gonna bring this up again because I'm still hurt by it. When you look at the original Bad Batch armor and you look at what they gave us in the next season of season 2, are you not do you not feel betrayed? You're like, what the hell is this?
Huncho looks like he let Omega go crazy with crayons all over his armor.
Yeah, it almost looks like what's her name? Sabine had a play in making their armor. That's what it looks like. But
it's and the thing is, it makes it a little screwbally is because we haven't. It'd be one thing.
Oh, look at that articulation.
Yeah, if we had, so that makes me wonder how good the articulation will be, maybe for like the Purge Trooper or something like that.
Yeah, that's promising. Very promising.
Because I mean, the Purge Trooper uses a comma. It has a lot of armor, clone trooper style armor pieces that are just being remade again, from the clone trooper stuff for the Purge Trooper. So, or maybe we might see some of these trooper styles. Obviously, the upper torso is always going to be a problem because it's a ton of armor. It doesn't matter who the person is or what the figure is. There's going to be problems with anytime there's armor pieces. But this is the one worry I have: those stupid antenna. Because anything with the antenna, a lot of times.
What it reminds? Yeah, you know what it reminds me of? The BB-8, because a lot of people broke the antenna on that one, and a Grail figure. Yeah, Commander Cody.
The one that goes on his shoulder and stuff like that would break. My
also
Cody's
the Death Star gunner. That's another one people broke the antenna a lot on. And K2SO. K2SO had an antenna on his shoulder, a couple antennas, and they broke those as well. So those are.
Of course, my Cody's still in the same position I put him in like 2 years ago or more.
I think mine I have changed slightly, but not much. Yeah, guys, this head sculpt is awesome. I just love that kind of Lobot-esque piece. Yeah, the like the Lobot piece that goes on the back of his head there, wraps around his ears. We'd like to call this piece here the meat tenderizer. I think this is probably one of my favorite hands, to be honest with you. I think this is
what do
really
you guys
cool.
think about it? Since these, I think these are all taken from probably concept art and stuff for this. Most of these I'm kind of, especially the switch it arm, I guess, or whatever, with all the weird attachments.
It looks like a hair cutting arm, a barbershop arm.
Yeah, or so. Those I don't like. I think those are stupid. Like,
I'm going to use the data arm for sure. This little like data spike drill thing that he has. I'm definitely going to use that for sure.
Yeah, no, see, I'm going to be using
that's the go-go gadget arm right there.
Yeah, extendo arm.
I'm using that arm probably.
I don't want that arm. I want the one that looks like the Mega Man blaster.
Yeah, that one is cool too. I like this. I've told you guys this before. I love the helmet and hand look, and this is really cool to me. I'd probably put the helmet in the other hand because I would want to display him with that little data arm, but yeah, I'm not going to display him with any of the other arms.
Do you think we're going to get the other Bad Batch figures for roughly similar pricing as these guys, or do you think
Wrecker's going to be the most for sure?
Not Wrecker. Wrecker's going to be like $325,
at least 300. After we saw what the Black Adam figure was, 300.
I mean like with Crosshair and Tech, because we've seen Crosshair quite a few times.
So we don't have sculpts for them yet, so it's hard to say. But if we get sculpts, I'm going to say they're going to be at least 285, and possibly pushing 300.
Even
but
though we got Hunter for 260, and we've
had
their extras would, I think, I could see maybe if they fall kind of that as Cigars and Bacon, where they throw us some quote older figures or something like that, or in between more of the quote modern pricing. I could see maybe Crosshair being like 270 maybe or something like that, but that like Wrecker is going to be a lot. If he's the one I have the most concern of the Bad Batch actually coming to the point where they make him, because he's such a big figure and stuff.
Hold on, Lane. Will it into the ether again. Say the Crosshair price tag. We're gonna will it into the ether. Come on, say it.
I'm hoping for 270.
There we go. We're gonna will that into the ether. 270.
Hey,
Harley Quinn came back from the dead.
Hey, CMB, we actually did that this week, and we're gonna talk about that figure here shortly. So you guys might not be super excited for the figure that we're going to talk about, but I really wanted to talk about it with everybody here on the panel, especially CMB, because him and I were talking about this figure, and I'm like, dude, why haven't they ever come out with this? And he's like, yeah, I know, they need to come out with it. And I kid you not, like an hour later, it's been released for pre-order. So yeah, it's really exciting. But guys, I just wanted to take a brief look at the Last Chance page with y'all in case you haven't had a chance to check it out recently. Not many things have changed right now.
Harley came back.
Harley did come back briefly, guys. Once again, we are giving away this figure on the channel, courtesy of Lane. It's an absolutely beautiful figure, especially if you play those Arkham games. It's definitely a must-have.
Definitely not 245.
Yeah, Star Killer. Talking about willing things in the ether. I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, if it does, we'll give a hot
that
toy
would be
on
sad,
the house
because then it would just be the figure. It would just be the figure with like a helmet and no sniper rifle or something for Crosshair.
Yeah. Good. Yeah, exactly.
245.
He would have like a metal piece of Durasteel or something where you can just put it in his hand and he can like throw it at people or something. Or maybe he'll speak and use harsh language, like the Colonial Marines against the aliens.
Right. So guys, once again, if you're considering the Batman and Bat Signal set and or the KX Enforcer, these are on the Last Chance page with the almost gone status. So if you typically only buy from Sideshow, I would pre-order them sooner than later. As you guys know or may not know, some of you, the Kate Bishop was put up on the Last Chance page with this group, and she has since disappeared. She has gone to waitlist. So if you had a chance to pick her up, awesome. If not, like Lane said earlier, you have other options right now. She is not fully sold out everywhere because she is still in the pre-order phase. So definitely keep that in mind. Don't think Sideshow is the end all be all. If it sells out, you could definitely explore other options and get yourself a pre-order on some of these more limited figures. But yeah, I already put in my pre-order for all of these. It just so happens that all of these figures popping up on Last Chance, for the most part, in terms of pre-order figures, I've needed all of them. So I've already dropped a pre-order on all of these. I know Chris grabbed Kate Bishop with me. you guys remember last stream, if you were here, I literally said at the beginning, I was like, oh, I'm not going to pre-order while we're on stream. And then Lane was like, oh, someone should drop a super chat. I'd pay $2 to see that, jokingly, because obviously we don't have super chats yet. But I did end up pre-ordering the Kate Bishop and the KX on stream. I did already have the bat signal on pre-order, but
you just
I couldn't, dude. I'm with all my friends here. We're all talking about how excited we are to get these figures and that we're worried about them selling out, and I just couldn't help myself. I had to get them because those are ones that I needed. Like Chris, I was a big fan of Kate Bishop in the show. I think she's one of the more promising new Avengers, in my opinion.
Haley Steinfeld in general, though.
Yeah, especially with that interaction with Kingpin, man. I mean, I if I wasn't certain about her then, once I saw that little interaction with Kingpin, I'm like, all right, I see you. So at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get the hot toy. We're still waiting for the Clint figure. They showed us that Hawkeye figure from the show. I hope they don't blue ball us and don't give us that figure, because I'd be really upset, because obviously those are like matching outfits. That's like the duo that you want, you know. Especially because my plan was to get that Hawkeye and have my Ronin Deluxe stay in the Ronin gear, and I would have like a little trio from the show. So I'm really hoping we get that Hawkeye personally. Yeah. But
I'm in the same boat. I want my
Yeah.
Ronin to be in the Ronin disguise, and then
because it's
Hawkeye
so
is
nice.
Hawkeye.
Yeah, it's so nice, man. So I'm really hoping for it. But guys, moving on. We did get a nice little video from Sideshow today regarding 3 pretty exciting figures. I know some of you are like, oh, I'm not excited for Reva. I personally am, because I think this, as you can see, this is kind of a match made in heaven here. But talk about excited. How many of you have
so hyped for that?
right?
Vader.
Exactly. How many of you are still hype drunk on this Vader, man?
But this Vader, you're not going to have to worry about going to waitlist early. This bad boy is going to be around for a long. If there's any indication, there's 11,000 of that Mythos Darth Vader, premium format statues that are coming from Sideshow.
Yeah,
this guy, they're going to order pretty well on this guy.
Yeah,
I'm sure Hot Toys is going to make it. Like he's probably not. He's going to be a figure you probably have to wait for a while to be worth his value.
It's one of, yeah, and I've said this before in terms of waiting. Just a side note, I'm like, this is a figure that I don't want to wait for. Like, I want it now. Like, I'm so excited for this figure, man. No, I don't want to wait until then. Eddie, how's it going, Eddie? Eddie, by the way, my Crow figure is on the way, dude. I'm so excited. We were talking about it last stream, how I was saying, oh, it's going to be shipping soon. They did the video on it. He did ship out, so I got a shipping notification. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. And Eddie and I were talking about the Crow last stream, so I hope you're doing well, Eddie. Good to see you again. Niconic says hard. Yeah, that Vader is a hard figure, dude. It's really, really cool, man. Blackbird grabbed 2 KX droids. I don't blame you. They're going to look amazing together. Me personally, I already have K2SO, so I couldn't justify getting 2 of them. But if you have multiples, it's going to look insane, man. Like I can't even imagine if someone grabs an army of those, how cool it's going to look.
I got a question for you. Do you think this Vader might sell more than the Mando?
Oh, that's tough to say. Probably not, only because obviously that was such a unique moment for not only Hot Toys, but Star Wars, where the Mandalorian kind of drew Star Wars fans back in after a dark time with the sequel trilogy. So because of that, you had all these people coming back to Star Wars. You had people with all this stimulus money laying around. So it's like, I think that there's many things that drove the sales for that order. Cause I mean, they've at this point probably sold over 30,000 of those. Do I see the Vader doing quite well in comparison? Absolutely. I'm not sure it'll quite reach that height, but you never know. I mean, it is Darth Vader, and it is a battle damage Darth Vader that a lot of people have been hoping for ever since.
Like an all-in-one.
Yeah, ever since. I mean, I say Star Wars Rebels because we know there was a scene between Ahsoka and Vader where we saw that battle damage look. But even like people hoping for a Return of the Jedi Vader, we still get a little bit of glimpse of Vader's face. Obviously, with the Return of the Jedi Vader, we want kind of the whole thing where the mask is split in half, but this kind of gives us a taste of that before we get that Return of the Jedi Vader, which I'm sure we'll get for the anniversary of Return of the Jedi. But
next year, I'm waiting.
Yeah. And same one says Mando brought him back from the Outer Rim, and it did for a lot of people, man, especially original trilogy fans who are very personally hurt by the sequel trilogy. Mando kind of gave him that feeling again that the original trilogy gave him. So it was definitely a unique time.
This head sculpt, man, is really good.
Absolutely incredible. Right. Absolutely. And I will say this, guys, I'm loving the material on the pants. It looks very, very posable, and you could see it as well up in the shoulder area. Very good to see it.
The one concern I have is with, the middle part belt, the belt part and stuff or whatever, the midterm armor will affect her ability to pose in the body.
It certainly will on the hips. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, that's not a major, in comparison to a lot of times, like we were talking about, for troopers to be able to move any other part of their body, that's a minor gripe. But it's the same thing. But however, like with the Grand Inquisitor, because he's got more of a kind of armor chest there and stuff. I think she's overall going to have better for upper body posability, probably in comparison to him.
Yeah, and I don't think her chest looks like pleather. Now that I'm looking at it closely in this video, it doesn't look like pleather.
I'm hoping it's not, because we already, that's the thing that kind of maybe drove me away from deciding to get Winter Soldier, is just I had some people show me pictures of some of the older Winter Soldiers with those pleather jackets, who were saying, because I was deciding,
boobs aren't pleather, Connor. Come on.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks for clearing that up, man. I appreciate it.
I've been deciding between the trying to decide between getting Cable or just sticking with him, like my original plan was this week to pick him up. I was told, get Cable. Even if what are you getting? I got asked, what are you doing it for? It's like, you're doing a multiverse thing, so Cable could just come randomly warping out from another timeline because things are crashing into each other. They're like, get Cable. It doesn't have to make sense. It's Marvel, man, and Wolverine's coming to Deadpool 3 and everything. It doesn't matter.
A great time. It's a great time for Marvel.
You might just randomly see one of these characters pop up in a movie or something. So
you never know.
You can make it, and this is could be where we see the comic-y book part of the MCU kind of pop back in a little bit going forward, in phase 5 and 6. So just get it, because if it's a better figure, and you can still somewhat make it work, that's all that matters at the end of the day.
Agreed. Totally agree. And Peyton was asking us, do we think that they could make the Vader throne separately if they make it?
Dude, that would be so cool if they did that.
I want Vader in the meditation chamber instead of the throne.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but that would be an even bigger setup.
That's why I have the Funko
It's
Pop.
like a gantry.
Yeah, I think they're both very doable.
It's just like Apple. I think they would do the throne, but if you want the throne, you also have to buy the deluxe version again.
Yeah,
of Vader or something.
Now they're doing the statue. The statue, unfortunately, Iron Studios, who I'm not a big fan of.
The proportions aren't great on that statue. It is cool. Don't get me wrong. It is cool.
Yeah, but I'm just not a big fan of Iron Studios.
Me neither. I'm not either. Their facial sculpts are either they're pretty good, or they're just straight up horrible.
Speaking of face sculpt, look at this bad boy.
Look at this guy. Yeah, he's good. I was just bringing up.
Hello.
There's
that chest armor you were talking about.
That's the only thing with his figure I could see where it could restrict him a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though, honestly, of all the Inquisitors, I love his armor design the best.
Oh yeah, and he's got that light up portion that's USB powered.
He's if I get I honestly I haven't just
that articulation.
I've already got the Purge Trooper. I knew I was going to get that guy.
So you got to get all of them now. That Purge is going to go so good.
Right now, the only thing I know I'm probably going to get at this point, falling within my 12 figures to buy next year, is pretty much at this point I'm going to get Vader, and I'm going to probably get Obi-Wan. I'm holding off on Obi-Wan just a little bit yet, because I want to see if they put out that end of Obi-Wan tradition, Jedi robes that he like the Mythos robes. Because if he comes out, I don't care if it's not a DX or whatever, it can just be a regular version for $285. That's the Obi-Wan I will get to fight Vader, because I like that outfit way better. But the Inquisitors, it's one of those things I don't know if I want to commit necessarily, and we may not get some of all figures, but if I don't know if I want to commit to guys who what has been most of the time I've complained about is that for guys who do nothing, there might be a secondary character in Andor who does some really cool stuff, where normally I would say, well, the cool guy, if you were looking at him, you're looking at, hey, the
I want a
Luthen
guy.
Dude, yeah, Lupin's one that a lot of
I
people
want
are hoping for
Lupin
from
Tupac.
Andor.
I want his rebellion look and his shopkeeper with crazy hair look.
Hey guys, side note, just a quick side note. If you guys have a Han Solo A New Hope figure and his boots are cracking, these are the Han Solo boots right here. These are literally the same
And
pattern.
you know what? I don't care. I like the seamless look. I don't care for split cut. I think it ruins it, to be honest. Like, I know people like posing.
It depends on the design. It really depends on the design. It's like Cable's split cut boots. They
I
work.
feel you. Freaking Cap's split cut is pretty cool too.
Yeah, some of them look weird for sure. I would agree.
You know, it's weird how sometimes where you could say normally if you were just looking to figure, like, I'm having to decide to get one of them because of the expense, or just I'm limiting myself to not buy everything, where you might go, where you've got the gorilla looking guy from one of the guys from episode 5 of Andor, or you'd be looking at the evil Sithy looking dude with battle armor and a double bladed lightsaber, and you're going to go, well, I'm going to get the Andor guy because you know what? He like did this, and this over 2 episodes. It was really cool. What did the other guy do? He stand there and went, hello, basically the like Inquisitor version of hello there.
Yeah, the thing with the Inquisitors is there's some crossover from Rebels too.
Yeah, I mean, I know that the guy did some pretty cool stuff. And maybe
I thought you wanted Grand Inquisitor.
I am thinking I do kind of want to get him of all the Inquisitors, but I'm not sure I want to commit.
Man, this Vader, dude, I can't get over it. I'm still like beyond blown away that we got this.
Because I can't
wait. I'll never stop.
So I know I think
I gotta get 2 of them.
Yeah, I grabbed 2 already.
But not by choice.
They
forced me.
Who saw it was like, Dad, come on. You know,
I'm actually considering.
Like, damn it!
I am actually considering selling my Rogue One Vader to help fund to get this one because I actually think I like this one better.
I would because this is basically the Rogue One Vader, but mad upgraded. You know?
Well, and Mike and he's selling sometimes for like almost $500.
Yeah,
right?
So I mean,
I wouldn't sell until I'm not. If I do, it's not going to be till probably like next summer or something like that. I still need a Vader in my collection for a while, but the reason being because I've had a pretty hard fast roll, except maybe and I've even applied it to troopers now, but. If I was going to get like Vader's a character, if I found just the absolute right thing, like right circumstance, that I might get 2 of them. It's hard for me for a character that is 9 times out of 10 looks exactly the same, or unless you're really looking closely or know the differences. And I've seen all the movies a bunch of times, but I don't really pay attention for the difference in the Vader armors, even though.
I mean, they are. If you're just like an average viewer, it's minute.
Yeah,
for sure.
But
for sure,
like if I was going to get a second Vader, like have 2 6 scales of him, for me it would be I love this one because it would give me kind of not a young Anakin, but a younger Anakin.
There you go, Lane.
Yeah,
you have a potential buyer for your Rogue One Vader already.
Yeah, well, it's because if I was going to have a second of him, it would be if they did a 1 to scale Return of the Jedi that has a Sebastian Shaw facial sculpt. Like I would get that one.
Really, Matt?
Really?
No, Matt, come on, Matt. You don't mean that, Matt. You don't mean that.
Can you kick guys out of chat because that's a kickable?
No, Matt's my boy. I'm not gonna do that to him. But you don't mean that. You don't mean that.
You're just like messing with us right now.
Thrawn's face is
right. How dare you?
But look at the damage. I just have to say that damage to the front of the Vader. And you know what the cool thing is? Like if you already have a Vader and you don't want to spend the extra money on the deluxe version, like you already have one in your collection, you can just get, and I put in quotes, regular DX of this, and just like how awesome, because just with the battle damage, there is enough different to that figure. If you just wanted to get the regular one, you already had a regular Vader. It doesn't matter which one. Like you had the 40th or something, you could get this one and just have this version, and it's completely different enough from that one. Or it's going to have the lightsaber damage to his cloak in the back and everything. So you can still get this one. That's what someone said. Why don't you just get the regular
Matt
one?
was trolling us.
I know. I hope so.
But hey, if you weren't, more power to you, man.
He's got freaking Thrawn's face for his icon. I don't buy it.
I mean that's a hardcore Iron Man guy.
Right. It must be. If it's turning down 2 deluxe Vaders for that neon
Thrawn, then you know that
OG
he thinks
fan,
Vader is
there,
better.
Don't forget, you gotta usually use your trademark when it comes to a certain bounty hunter.
Yeah, exactly. Where's your
Which
bio?
we're part of
Vader
that
scene?
right now. Look at that Skeletor, by the way. Is that thing amazing or what?
That is
Dude, I
really
almost
cool.
bought that when it went up for
Yeah,
pre-order
this
because
that
they had
that's Tweeter had like
yeah,
life-size
Tweeter had
posters.
actually had a sale. Like if you bought it directly from their website, it was like almost $150 cheaper. So I was like, man, I'm gonna do it. And then I was like, nah, I'm good.
I really like
It
them,
would
but
make
those
no sense
things
to
are
have
so
one
big.
Skeletor bust, in the
Actually, I
collection
would
and
say
nothing else
the
He-Man related.
only two things from Twitter had me like almost just that I almost went, oh my god, I don't own anything of this stuff, but I want to buy it. Was that, and then what do you call it? The that 1/6 scale He-Man on Battle Cat statue.
Yeah.
Yep.
That
I almost
thing
got
looks
the
so cool.
I had the Joker when we're sitting in the chair and it's got like all like the Batarang and everything in it. I bought that. I had that on pre-order,
cool.
but I had to cancel it.
Yeah, this is my only thing with
my
this
situation.
is where my disappointment with Sideshow Con is. I thought maybe some of the recent announcements, not including the Neon Tech, but with some of the recent announced figures, like maybe even the new Mark V with the new base, so we can actually see the base itself, like in person, kind of on video.
Yeah.
And stuff. I was hoping they were going to have that there, or what are some of the other? I mean, they didn't even have the Inquisitors here.
So yeah. First of all, insane one. Absolutely agree. Must have all Vaders. Matt is saying the Return of the Jedi Vader are bust. I'm an OG Star Wars guy. That's fair, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm no stranger to the original trilogy. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the original trilogy.
For that one though, Matt, it would have to have like an alternate Sebastian Shaw sculpt,
right?
But to make it worth it.
It absolutely must. It has to be basically the quarter scale shrunk down. That's what we want. But it's like, with that being said, Hayden Christensen still has a special place in my heart, and seeing him as Darth Vader and with the face reveal under the mask and everything, it's coming home for sure. It already is. It's already on pre-order. I got 2 of them.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah,
but yes, the Sebastian Shaw Vader is obviously what we all. I would even love a Sebastian Shaw Anakin. That would be like an amazing release. That would be an amazing.
Looking at all these poses,
I'm
assuming that Guy posed
George
them.
Lucas did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it was Guy that posted. But
look at these poses, man. It definitely isn't Terry poses. I'm looking at these poses like Guy must have done it.
Right. Yeah, Matt, this is an epic failure for sure.
Look at Boba's pose, not the helmeted one, but the
one. He took some of the gear off of him. It looks weird.
Yeah. Look at Moff. I still got to say though, just look at that when they pan over here. That freaking Dark Trooper. Doesn't that thing just like you can just?
It's beautiful and it draws your attention very quickly. Yeah, it's very shiny. He needs some milk. Matt says you have to have the Shaw sculpt. He's been waiting all of these years. Return of the Jedi anniversary is next year. Yeah, dude. Next year is going to be. You guys know, at the end of the day, most of us here, we started with Star Wars. That's where our love lies. So yeah,
I stopped collecting secondary market right now.
Yeah, Star Wars is going crazy, man. We're getting a lot of good releases for Star Wars, and they're not even close to being done. I mean, we got more Clone Wars.
We've had more delays than
Attack
we've had
of the
releases
Clones
for Star Wars, so there's more Star Wars waiting to come running over. Don't forget, we're only 5 episodes into Andor.
Yeah,
I mean, we've got. In theory, we could have 7 total releases of the Obi-Wan, which I think feels like almost a little overkill. But we could theoretically have 7 releases from Obi-Wan. Like who thought we were going to get that many? I mean,
we'll see.
I would say if we, from what we got already with having 5 of them, that's a good run. That's a pretty good line there for that show. Overall, some different characters. It'll be nice to get some of the other ones, but he just doesn't fit on that stupid base. The stupid Darth
figure. Yeah, he is. He is giant. Oh, I absolutely love this figure. I've considered getting another one, but then I told myself, like, you know what? I'm getting 2 deluxe Bespin Lukes. So I'll just get one of these guys, but I couldn't recommend this one enough. This is a beautiful figure. I don't know if you guys have seen what Sean did with his, but he has him kind of hanging with a grappling hook, and he just looks so good, man.
That way you could have almost the complete Bespin Luke experience for the most part, except if you have his,
Jango Fett, of course, another beautiful figure. But again, stuff that we already have. Like this isn't. This is definitely a snooze fest for sure. I mean, here we got a shot of the Chrome Stormtrooper, which is cool. I mean, he's obviously in stock and shipping for everybody now, but
well, I gave you the link, right? The one I thought we should look at in relation.
Yeah. Do you remember? Could you just tell me the timestamp by chance? Let me see. Actually, I might be able to hold up.
I don't have
Bear
it
with
open
us, guys.
anymore.
Oh,
It was like an hour and something in. It was after Skeletor, I think.
I think I just.
Yeah,
Is that
it was
him right there?
It was, yeah,
is that
this
the
was
end game
during
one?
this
Okay.
pan there.
Look at that pose for the 2022.
That's
Sorry,
good
the
figure,
2020
man.
Spider-Man.
Don't
That's
you have
cool.
this one, CMB?
Which one?
2020.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
Star
no.
Killer.
I'm getting it. I have it in my cart.
He's beautiful, man. I don't blame you. He's awesome, and those effects are so cool. And the fact that they gave him USB power is a huge plus.
And I will tell you guys, if this is one you've looked at, because I know the one issue is kind of if it's not lit up, you may have, because like I can't light up my stuff right now, which could be the one drawback to the figure. Bob Dylan had pointed out to me. The good thing is it takes away from the figure a tiny bit. Sure, the chest you can still kind of make out with the red.
It looks so good,
yeah,
though.
But the helmet piece there that's in front of like kind of the Spider-Man face, you can remove that, and then you can see the eyes and stuff fine. So you can make out like the Spider-Man eyes and stuff. Right. Not as obviously as good as this, but you can see them and everything. And
still usable without the LEDs, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Dark Trooper. He has red lenses, so it still emulates the red eyes, but obviously looks better.
The issue with this figure is if you don't have them hooked up, that's like, I don't know.
That's half the fun and half the display piece,
Yeah, for this guy. That's what makes him unique.
Right. Star Killer, congratulations on Luke, by the way. You're going to love the figure. I have zero complaints about that figure. I absolutely adore it. So congratulations on that.
That's what we're working towards, Peyton. That's why I wanted us to look at that since they
Matt said he loves the Snowspeeder Luke. Me too, man. That figure, it's like when you get a lot of figures and some of them you're like, I still like this figure, but it didn't wow me. The Snowspeeder Luke absolutely wowed me. I was so excited to get that.
Isn't it? Now they did actually refer to one of these.
I was impressed with it.
Yeah, it's really nice, man.
They did refer here, I think mistakenly though, when the girls were talking here. When we pan over here in a little bit, you'll see the War Machine. That's the Mark I War Machine because I recognize it from the base. They called it the Mark IV from. Yeah,
that's not the Mark IV, but this is this is the War Machine that people are getting shipping notifications for.
This figure, I have to say, I'm really like, it's not my top thing I want to see. I would probably say for the remainder of the year, if it still comes, like the Chrome Mando and the Bando Luke are like the figures I still really want to kind of see.
Yeah, me too.
But I'm getting this guy. It's one step more, so I can finish out what I want to do with my Iron Man collection. I'm not buying every Iron Man and his brother, especially since they're all coming out over again. But there's a poor Vision figure that nobody loves because it's got that awful cape.
I think the cape looks cool. I like it. I still have to pick him up. He's one that's he's on my list.
There's everybody's favorite. The
Did they show Carnage in this by chance?
You said what?
Did they show Carnage?
No, unfortunately, no. They had him at San Diego Comic-Con. There's the Mark 46, the new Mark 46, looking real good. Yep. Actually, a pretty decent pose for him. Maybe Guy didn't touch that one.
Yeah. Like there's the Iron Man Venom. I actually think that figure is really cool.
It is really cool. It is really cool.
And the problem is you've got like the Mark 46 coming out here and stuff. Whatever we want to complain about the reissue or whatever, or 1.25 or what have you. Yeah. Is that the other new whatever with that really ugly looking diorama base and stuff for Mark V? All those are coming out,
baby.
Yeah, that I wish they would. They're gonna tomorrow.
They pans right over it. Yeah.
Tomorrow they're gonna be going in depth with Marvel.
There's our stealth suit cap.
That's what I wanted us to look at because you can actually see
without the Thanos gauntlet, which is unfortunate. Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. So, are you guys here? Any of you guys going to get this stealth cap? Because I think tomorrow or this weekend, it's going to go.
I think you're right, and you mentioned that earlier. Oh, you're good. You're good. I think that's going to round off my Captain America trio, and that'll be done for me for caps because I have the 2012. I have the main Endgame suit with Mjolnir, and then I'll have this one. Yeah. But I'll be honest with you. If you already have 2012 and/or the main Endgame suit, you're well off. Those are beautiful figures, and you really don't need this one. It's more so a one.
I was just about to say that. I got my 2012. I don't plan on picking them.
I got Endgame cap. I'm good. I don't need any more.
Yeah. I'm considering this one, but it's a reason I haven't 100% decided on Cable because I might get this guy. I'm not sure yet because.
Yeah. I don't. So, do you have a cap right now?
No, I have zero
Okay.
caps.
I was gonna say I would
But
definitely.
I don't
do Cable
primarily
as cap,
collect. It's just because of having money to spend right now.
You got to have a cap for sure. You got to have a cap in your collection, at least one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
dude. Mark 46 looks very posable. Posable.
I can't get over the Cable cyborg arm and the freaking gun. Like those two things,
dude.
really
and I
funny
showed
to
it to you when we were
Yeah.
streaming the one day together, and I showed you it's incredible. The Cable got a lot of hate from people that really weren't interested in the figure to begin with, I feel like. And it's okay if you don't like the figure, but to encourage other people not to like the figure, I think was wrong, because that figure is very nice. It's not perfect, but that's another one. I opened it up and I was like, wow, I'm very impressed, because obviously that one got a lot of hate. So I had mild expectations going into it, because I'm like, maybe this really is that bad of a release. We'll see. But I was willing to give it a chance because I really liked the character and I wanted the figure. And Cable's really awesome. I think when you put all the gear on him and dress him how he's typically dressed in the film with the poncho and everything, it looks amazing. It really does. And I liked it so much, I went and bought Dusty Deadpool. Sean's looks like, oh, Sean's popping back in. What's up, Sean? We're just taking a look at the lackluster footage from Sideshow Con. We just took a brief look at the stealth cap that they have here in the front. Definitely a snooze fest today, everybody. I think everybody in the chat, let us know what you think. I think this was a snooze fest today. I'm hoping that they got some more tricks up their sleeve. Yeah, it probably is why they didn't go, because they're like, damn, we're not showing anything new.
This is why they didn't go, because they had nothing new.
They didn't have much of anything for their. I mean, they didn't really have anything. I mean, then maybe tomorrow they will, but today they didn't really have anything for themselves, like new statues of their own releases.
I was hoping for like another horror figure, something from like the Sideshow Originals line, where their 6-scale line.
No figures, no statues, nothing really. I mean, they had the PCS statue, which they distribute, but that's not them. You know, that's not them. Well, and the thing is, maybe that's because Spooktacular is only a couple weeks away. It's not like we're talking, it's like 2 months away. It's like 2.5 weeks by the time this figure.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm hoping Spooktacular they announce a new 6-scale horror figure.
That'd be cool.
Me too, man. I can tell you right now, not horror related, but this is one that I actually brought up to Bossy Boss, as they like to call him, when we were on that little like metaverse thing that they have, the Sideshow verse. I would love to see a reissue of the Beetlejuice figure that Sideshow did years ago. That's one that's definitely like pretty high on my list. I would absolutely love to see.
I would pick that up.
Yeah, right. Who wouldn't? It's Michael Keaton. It's Tim Burton. Like, you got to get the Beetlejuice figure. And like, that one's definitely a quite a grail right now in terms of Sideshow figures. It's up there in price. I've seen it recently sell for like $650, $700. So if they were to redo that figure, I'd be very stoked. But also
Chucky either.
Yeah, so right now I have the retro cloth Chucky from NECA as a stand-in. Yeah. In terms of what I would want to see from a Sideshow horror figure, that's tough to say.
Since you mentioned Tim Burton, and Edward Scissorhands would be awesome.
Yeah, Edward Scissorhands would be cool. I mean, we have that Hot Toys one, but that one's pretty outdated at this point, and the outfit scares me because of the material. Yeah, that would be cool. What main killers have they not done? I mean, we talked about this the other day, CMB. Pinhead. Pinhead would be really cool, and I feel like that's one that Sideshow could tackle and do a good job at.
They did a ghost face, but me and Kevin, like, it's nitpicky, but I want them to do like a sparkle robe version too.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Sideshow ghost face. If you take out like, the inaccuracies, I don't think we need another. I would rather see a new killer. Like, I'm excited that we're getting the Killing Mask Leatherface, because since we got the Pretty Woman Leatherface originally, but I would like to see a new killer that we had, like the Saw Pig Mask, Amanda, I think her name is. That would be cool. There's a lot of killers that we're probably not thinking of that would be really cool that they did.
Rob Zombie would be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. Or like the Rob Zombie Halloween Part 1.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. Is gonna do
I'd want Rob Zombie as the Hellbilly.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Or dude, Captain Spaulding, that would be awesome.
Yeah, the Devil's Rejects, all three of them.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. There's a lot of untapped potential with horror, and CMB and I were talking about this the other day in DMs. It's like, if you're a horror fan, you got to respect Sideshow, because they're doing stuff that we want to see. I mean, they're doing horror stuff. They're doing The Crow, Eric Draven. They're doing The Dude. They're doing Clint Eastwood. They're doing a lot of stuff that Hot Toys is never going to touch,
What about
unfortunately,
the
because it's just
Nun?
the Nun. There actually is
Grudge?
there's a pretty good Nun figure already. I think it's from QMX. I think the company's called something
I was
close to
gonna
that.
say I think I saw one before.
Oh
but I wasn't-
Yeah, it's
shoot!
not
Look at
bad.
that,
You can get it.
Steve. I
Oh.
think you might be the first one who has said your Echo has arrived. That's crazy fast. You must be in California, right? Yeah, moving. I think Tots is doing a well. You know how Tots is. They show stuff and sometimes they never do it. But they did show. Yeah, I think they did show a Rob Zombie Halloween figure. So that would be really cool because I actually did like them.
Yeah.
Captain
that
Planet
map.
would be cool. I wouldn't personally pick that up, but that would be really cool.
I want Don Cheadle's Captain Planet figure.
Yeah, that would be cool. That'd be
Hey,
really
I
cool.
said the Grudge from the Ring or something.
The Grudge would be cool. Yeah, that would be really cool. There's a lot of potential, man. And we could sit here and think like there's a lot of like killers that haven't been touched. I mean, granted, they have done some of the more popular ones. We got Ghostface, we got Freddy, we got Jason. Hell, I'd like to see another
remake
Jason
of-
figure.
They're doing the Leatherface, but the different one. They're giving him instead of
killing
the
mask,
pretty,
yeah.
the killing mask instead of the pretty
Yep.
woman.
Which
You
the
see,
Pretty
I
Woman
want-
actually is my favorite look, but the fact that they're doing a killing mask, it tanked the value of that 3-0 one because it just looks better.
I want.
more
I want
obvious.
the
to
killing
go
mask one,
with
'cause
the
that's the
horde
one I
though,
want.
like as a set.
Me too.
like
I'm
a
getting the killing
Nike.
mask.
I'd want like a Laurie Strode or something.
Dude, yeah. So we already know that we're getting a Dr. Loomis, from
Loomis,
Tots,
yeah.
which is really exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Laurie Strode would be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, how many people here would lose their shit if Hot Toys got the license for Halloween Ends? I would absolutely lose my shit if they got that. I don't think they
would.
will, but if they did, dude, I would be so excited. Oh yeah, Jeepers Creepers. We can get the killer
Oh,
from
wow.
Jeepers
Creeper.
Creepers.
Yeah,
I didn't
not,
even
not,
think
not,
about
that.
not,
I would
not,
He's just known as he's just
Those
known as the
wings
creeper.
are-
not after Reborn,
Huge.
guys. We're not getting a figure of the
Yeah, Carrie. That's another one. Jack. We'd also get Jack. Here's Johnny from The Shining.
I'll
That would be
take
cool
Cujo.
too.
Oh man, Tim Curry's It.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, come on,
That's
man.
what
Like,
Kevin
That would
wants.
be awesome.
Yeah.
me too, man. I mean, like that's what I said about. Remember, we were talking
That's
about
what I
Inart
grew
and
up on.
Pennywise. I'm like,
Yeah.
why didn't they do a Tim Curry version instead? That would have been huge, man. I mean,
Right.
Tim Curry's the OG Pennywise, and obviously,
Isn't InArt doing it though? I thought.
no, they haven't said anything about doing the
they're
original.
doing the new. Yeah, they're just doing the new
Right.
Pennywise.
Pumpkinhead would be really cool.
Ooh,
no-
yeah.
I'm a big. The Leprechaun would be cool as well. I want me gold.
Yeah, Leprechaun. Yep.
Phantasm.
Yeah, Carrie would be super cool. Carrie, that's a classic. I would absolutely love to see Carrie. Totally agree. Let's see what
Night
else.
of Living Dead figures.
Yeah, I will say like the Tots is doing some really cool stuff. I mean, they're doing the
doing the
Christopher
Tar
Lee
Man.
Dracula. They got the Tar Man. They got a lot of cool stuff, and even recently, they're doing even more Leatherface figures from the third film, from the 2003 film. So they're doing a lot of cool stuff. So guys, this is a figure I had mentioned briefly earlier that we wanted to talk about. The Trick or Treat Studios Sam figure is finally up on pre-order. This is a really cool figure, guys. If you're a fan of this movie, I'm sure you've been waiting for this figure to drop. And this is one that Cigars and I were just talking about. Like, where's that figure? They just announced details about the second film the other day, and we're like, where's that figure? Here it is. It's finally up on Sideshow just in time for Halloween. It went up on pre-order.
Kevin
Honestly,
got it for
How
free.
posable is it?
What's that? You got it for free?
Kevin did, my brother.
He had rewards and
Nice.
stuff. Oh, Matt, Matt, I
Those are
saw
rewards.
the trailer for that. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, apart from like Tire, that horror movie, or whatever it's called, Rubber.
Oh my god, I don't even want to talk about Rubber.
Yeah, no, thank you. But yeah, guys, this is really exciting.
Movie? No, I'm not watching.
No, it's
that.
so weird.
It
Dude.
looks
It's
so
weird.
stupid.
Yeah, but this figure, however, is super cool, and they basically gave us anything we could want with this figure. I'm assuming I haven't checked in the details. I think this mouth is articulated on the pumpkin head sculpt. So this is really cool. It's got an articulated mouth. He's got the little razor blade candy bar, which is obviously, if you've seen the film, you know that's a must-have. The details are really, really nice on the sculpt. Trick or Treat Studios, I will say some of their figures don't have the best bodies, but what they do focus well on is hiring good sculptors.
Mhm.
The owner of Trick or Treat Studios has an eye for a good sculpt because obviously they produce many fairly accurate masks that a lot of them are pulled from the actual movie molds.
Yeah.
So they're no stranger to that. So because of that, it translates to their 6-scale figures because they're hiring the right people to sculpt these figures. And this figure is just incredible, guys. I mean, we got We got the flaming
yeah.
jack-o'-lantern with the LED
beginning
light up
and the
effect.
end. From
Yep.
the intro and the end, the flaming jack-o'-lantern. Dude, everything that you and I, when we
Candyman,
were
yes,
talking in the
yes.
background, we were talking that we wanted to see before this figure was released. Everything we said we wanted to see
It's all
for
here,
accessories came out. We were like, I want a lollipop, but I want the bitten lollipop. We'll get that.
We got
You said
both.
you wanted the candy bar with the razor blade.
Yep.
I said we both agreed we needed both head sculpts. We got both head sculpts.
My internet today is being weird, man. I usually never have issues with the internet. And it's like
Yeah,
these
Kev's
photos are
got
loading
the NECA one right now, and I know you can take the mask off, and it'll have that sculpt underneath it too.
Yet.
And you
Pet
guys
Cemetery
remember
is
in
a
the
classic.
80s?
Cemetery would be good.
You guys remember in the 80s when we had those late night horror shows like Tales from the Crypt?
Tales from the Crypt's a classic.
It was like a werewolf. Yeah, and there was like the werewolf TV series for a while. I mean, that werewolf looked awesome, and I think that would be cool to have a werewolf from that.
Yeah.
Or even like a set where it came with Arnold and the Crypt Keeper.
What I would love to see...
Crypt Keeper would be a very cool one.
Yeah, the Crypt Keeper would be sick. I would like to see all the Universal monsters in 6-scale form. That would be sick. I mean, we have the what's it called? Creature from the Black Lagoon already from Mondo. That figure is really, really cool. They did a silver screen variant, which is still in stock, I believe, but the original, like, actual green painted version is sold out.
Addams Family, like anybody?
Addams Family would be really cool. I dig that.
Original monsters.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much
not
potential.
Rob Zombie's monsters.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
Hey, you also got
like 10 minutes into that movie, and I was like, and I'm done. This movie is horrible.
Right. No, thank you.
What about all the monsters from Monster Squad?
Oh, man.
Monster Squad is a cult classic, man.
Yeah, that would be awesome. All the monsters.
Doesn't have nards. Kick them in the nards.
Dude. That was way too good, CMB. That wolf impression, that was way too accurate. That's crazy.
It's like one of my favorite movies as a kid, man. Like, I remember my dad let me rent it one time, and for the next year, every weekend we went to the video rental place, I rented Monster Squad. Like, I loved that movie.
Yeah. I feel you, man. I've got like that with movies in the past. You know what movie I loved as a kid, and for some reason I've probably seen it 300 times. I'm exaggerating, but a lot. Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. I don't know why. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with that movie. I just loved the scene where all of the armor comes to life. I don't know what it was about that movie, but I was obsessed with that movie as a kid.
You had a crush on Angela Lansbury. It's cool, bro.
Oh, dude, she wasn't looking too bad at that time.
he was like Gil.
But yeah, guys, the Trick or Treat Sam. Really, really excited for this one. I'm glad that it's finally up for pre-order. And again, just like Sideshow, Trick or Treat is doing a lot of stuff that everybody kind of was on their wish list far off in the stars, you know, and they're coming out. Oh, dude, Goosebumps figures, Slappy. Dude, are you kidding me? You know, like the mask. Dude, there's so many cool things they could do for Goosebumps.
You remember how they did the movie?
Yeah.
My kid, when he was real young, he watched it, and Slappy scared the crap out of him.
Dude, when I was a kid, some of those Goosebumps episodes, I'm like, damn, this ain't no joke. Absolutely, yes. Goosebumps is awesome, dude. R.L. Stein's a legend, and he's put out some great stuff. Let's see. Oh, I just wanted to briefly show you guys a couple things. Here's an image from Secret Base this morning of the effects lighting up on the gantry set. Pretty cool. I wish there was actual like lights. Good. Yeah, it looks cool. I wish there was actual like better lights on the chest and everything, but what are you gonna do? Any other news that we missed? Oh yeah, guys, we did get a official release for this standard version of the Web Spider-Man. No churro, no book, and no pamphlet and soda can, but you do get this figure in the US soon enough. So as we said, be patient. Don't pay the crazy money if you don't care about the soda can and the churro. Here you go. I think that's it apart from the in-art stuff. Nothing new on the Sideshow What's New page, unfortunately, or the Coming Soon page. That's usually a good indicator of what's going to show at the con. They like to put that stuff up early. But unfortunately, this time around, there's nothing showing. So it could have just been that snooze fest from today, and that's all we get. Who knows, guys? Very briefly, want to touch on this. InArt has been posting information about the event this October, I believe it is, later this month. They've been showing like kind of preview images, basically saying they're going to show the final product of the Joker figure, the Pennywise. They're going to show previews of the Batman. You can see here, this one's marked as sample. Obviously, it's kind of far off for them to show a final product on that one. Even the Gandalf, we're going to be seeing a final product on. So really interested to see what comes from that event. They also, obviously, we showed this on the last stream. They're kind of soliciting comic shops in the U.S. to become official InArt partners. They're trying to make their way into the U.S., so it'll be very interesting. I'm hoping we see good stuff from this event because I do have the Joker sculpted 2-pack and the Bruce Wayne Pattinson on pre-order, so I would like to see them turn out well for my sake because I did already put a pre-order down on them. But guys, we're going to kind of wind down here. I know Lane wanted to show off his Throne Boba a little bit. He did already get the Throne Boba, but he had some issues with his, so he got another one. I did actually just get, and let me show you something I actually just got in because we were talking about horror figures because I always like sharing what I get with you guys. Yes, sir. So I did get the 1/6 scale Freddy Krueger from Sideshow. This is from the most recent batch. So they just started shipping this guy again. I believe he is now in stock. If not, he's about to be in stock. I really dig this figure. I will say out of the Sideshow horror figures, this does have a looser body compared to the other ones. It's not terrible. Mainly in the legs, they're pretty loose, but the proportions I think are fantastic. It's very skinny, just like Robert Englund was in all the films. And I think it looks awesome. And I will say they are getting better on their metal paint jobs. I don't know if it'll focus on the glove, but you could see it does look more like metal than they typically do. And the head sculpt looks awesome. Is it 100% Robert Englund? What?
It looks like he's missing a blade.
Is he missing a blade? Oh, yeah. Wow. Why did I not notice that? Look, check it out, guys. Look. The pointer finger is missing a blade. Yep. Maybe it's sitting in the box, or maybe I got the exclusive edition. I literally did not even notice that.
In one of his victims.
Maybe I was so excited to pull this out of the box. Right, I was so excited to pull this out of the box. I didn't even notice that. Maybe I'll look at my packaging. If not, Sideshow, where's my hand at?
Yep.
Right.
But that's what I got this week. I also got the Throne Boba. I have him quietly nestled in my Detolf. And I will say, guys, and Lane kind of brought this up the other day, but the Throne Boba fits very well in a Detolf. So if you're a collector that has Detolfs, I can confidently say you will be able to fit Fennec and Boba together with no problems. If you're like me, I'm going to be replicating that final scene from The Mandalorian when we saw Boba Fett take over the throne. So I'm really excited to put them together. And if you have Detolfs, you can be too, because you have plenty of room. So Lane's Boba Fett, he originally could not get the head sculpt off, or excuse me, the helmeted neck peg off. So he had to get a new one because it literally would not come off. I sat there cackling, watching Lane
fuck with it.
Yeah, try to mess with it for like literally probably at least an hour. And it was the funniest thing ever. I had a good time. But as you could see, Lane got a new one, and he finally got his head sculpt on his Throne Boba Fett. Me personally, I said this to Lane, and I think I'm sticking to it. I'm going to keep the head sculpt off of my Throne Boba, and I'm saving it for the Book of Boba Fett version. Just because I want to replicate how he was in the show. And unfortunately, they didn't give the sculpt to the Book of Boba Fett version. So that's my way of making use of that
The
sculpt.
one thing you have to futz with this is the neck part here.
It almost looks like a scarf.
Yeah, you have to futz around with it a little bit just to get it balanced out, but you can raise it up and down depending on how much of the neck you want to show. It's not going to be exactly like perfect, but as he can tell you, I spent so much effort to get this stupid thing on. I said it'll be a while before the helmet comes back onto Boba.
Yeah. It absolutely, yeah. But guys, I can vouch for it. Honestly, the Throne Boba really, really impressed me. I opened it up the other day. I was thinking about opening it on stream, but I'm like, you know what? Everybody's seen plenty of Throne Boba unboxing, so I was like, I'm just gonna enjoy it for once. So I opened it up, and it's really, really incredible, guys. I can honestly say the throne is really well done, and Lane was right. I do think that the throne is not hollow. It has some serious weight to it. It feels really, really good, and it looks great. Like the detail, like the patina on the copper with the Rancor heads on each side of the throne is absolutely beautiful, and they just did such a good job. Lars asked, do you think Andor is too slow paced? Lars, I don't. And the only reason I say that is because we have 12 episodes this season. Now, if it was a 6-episode season like we get with a lot of these Star Wars shows, I'd be like, nah, this is not good enough. But being that it's a 12-episode season, I love the build-up. And guys who have seen it on the panel, feel free to chime in. But I really like the build-up. And last episode, especially without any spoilers, I'm like, damn, they're leaving us hanging again. This next episode next week is going to be the really good episode.
I can agree. Maybe it's a little slow pace, but I didn't like the first 2 episodes, but episodes 3 through 5, I'm sold on it. So
yeah,
now I may actually go back and watch, Rogue One and care what happens to Andor.
Yeah,
a little bit.
Hey, I care what happened to him.
Slow pace. I don't think so. I feel that it's perfect because they said that this is supposed to be a 3-season show. So they're not trying to rush each episode like they are with other shows because we only get 1 season. But this was already slotted for 3 seasons. So they have the ability to take their time and story build and character build. And that's what some of the other shows were lacking is it was so rushed you didn't have time to character build or even story build.
Bantha, sorry to cut you off. Just real quick. I didn't see that. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize that comment had a swastika at the end. We don't promote that. So I'm sorry that I put that up on the screen. Thank you for putting that out, Bantha. Go ahead. Sorry, CMB.
That wasn't a swastika. It's a Buddhist symbol for peace.
Oh, well, I apologize. See,
if it was turned the other way and tilted, the swastika, but if it's straight like it was, that's a.
I briefly looked at it and he said it was a swastika and it looked like a swastika to me. Regardless,
that's what I'm saying, like it's the same.
Yeah, Lars, I apologize for timing you out. If that was not a swastika, I just briefly looked at it and when he mentioned, I didn't want to have that up on screen, but
it's easy. It's an easy mistake most people get. Yeah, if it's tilted sideways, like instead of looking like a square on the border, but it looks like almost like a diamond type of style, then if it's the diamond style tilted sideways, that's the Nazi swastika. But if it's just flat like it was, that's the Buddhist symbol for peace and tranquility.
Gotcha. Collector asks, would Andor have been better as a movie or a binge watch release? No, I like it as a show. Only because, we already saw Cassian in a movie format. And I think, Sean, I'm going to mute you temporarily because it's echoing pretty bad. I think the whole purpose of this show is to kind of shed more light on Cassian and really the rebellion as a whole and kind of show Cassian from where he began and where he ended up. You know what I mean? And because obviously in Rogue One, there's a lot of questions for a lot of these characters. There's a lot of questions, but especially Cassian because we didn't really get to hear too much about his backstory. He was one of those mysterious characters, and he was very rough around the edges. And we saw that his relationship with Jyn was very interesting. And it took a lot for him to warm up to Jyn and for Jyn to warm up to him. And I think this show was completely warranted. There was a lot we didn't know about the character, and I think it's a good opportunity for them to also show kind of like the beginnings of the rebellion and kind of what ignited that fire in a lot of these people to want to rebel against the Empire. So I'm liking the show. I'm with CMB. Is it slow? Slightly, but it's the right pace for a 12 episode season and a show that's going to have 3 seasons confirmed already, So I absolutely think they're doing a great job with Andor. And it's good to see that a lot of people are
the other 2 seasons going to only be 6 episodes each because they said it's only 24 episodes in total?
Well, if that's the case, that's how they would split it up. Yeah, but
makes sense to me.
Yeah, thank you for the quick math there, Lane.
Well,
I'm
no.
just joking. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I mean,
No,
regardless,
I thought it was only supposed to be 2 seasons of 12 episodes. That's what I heard.
I heard
Oh.
3 seasons as well. But
Yeah, it was originally supposed to be 5, but they
Right.
condensed it down to 3.
2, 3, 5. Okay.
yeah, well, hey, we'll just go with more than 1 season.
There
We'll
you
go
go.
with more than 1. Yeah, Peyton, I haven't seen She-Hulk episode 8 yet, so I'm excited to watch it. I know there's some Daredevil action there, but I'm gonna be
Did you
checking
guys
it out
talk
probably this
about-
weekend.
Did you guys talk about Werewolf by Night? Because that airs tomorrow.
No, you know what hit theaters today as well? Terrifier 2.
Yep. I already saw some of the reviews. Guess what? Everybody's giving it phenomenal rating.
Yeah, man, and we kind of talked about this, guys. There's this month for movies. I mean, Terrifier 2, Black Adam.
2 hours, 18 minutes, man.
Yeah,
that's a long ass
movie.
slasher movie.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of slashing. If it's anything like the first one, I heard it was the first one
review
turned up a
guys-
notch.
Yeah, the first
They
one.
said part 2
Mm.
more gore and blood than the first one. So they said be prepared. Like
Yeah,
it's
man.
gonna be a
Jeez.
bloodbath.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. I'm excited for it. I got to see who's showing it around me because obviously it's one of those movies it's not probably showing everywhere because of the grade of the film it is. But we have a lot of exciting stuff. And also, guys, if you have Hulu tomorrow, the Hellraiser 2022 film is premiering on Hulu. So I know
watching it.
CMB and I are insanely excited for that one.
Oh yeah.
Has
That's
anybody
another
seen
one.
that new movie, Smile? It's got a lot
I've had
of good with it. It's
Heard
the
that thing's
number
getting
one
thing.
movie.
really.
I've heard mixed things about it. I was actually just talking about some friends from work. We were talking about it this morning, and half of them liked it. Half of them were like, "That was so stupid."
Yeah.
So I'm curious. I will watch it on my own. I'm not going to see it in theaters just because I got Halloween Ends to see
Yeah.
in theaters. I got Terrifier, Black Adam. There's a lot of movies coming out that I want to see in theaters. So,
Yeah, well, I changed my mind about the theater thing for Halloween. Just gonna have some family, and we're gonna watch it
yeah,
here on Peacock.
yeah.
I got Dolby
Unfortunately, I won't be
Atmos,
able to
so
see it
that's
on release day, but it's going to be really exciting. It's going to close off this trilogy. So I'm hoping it's good. Obviously, we all know what's going to happen with Laurie Strode. You can get a general idea from the trailers
Yep.
of what's going to happen with her, but it's going to be good, man. I think it'll be good. The last 2 films were definitely good. I think 2018 was my favorite so far from this trilogy.
Yeah.
Just because that was like a grand return and kind of like
I still
almost
can't
like
believe we've got 4 different timelines of Halloween movies. Jesus.
5.
yeah, I saw the breakdown the other day. It's funny how they break everything
H4O,
up.
H2O,
Yeah.
You got 5.
Yeah.
the Rob Zombie no one wants to remember. And
Well,
then
the first Rob
third-
Zombie
The
one was
first
good.
Rob
It
was good.
The second one was horrible,
What the-
but
It
the
was the
first one was
second one.
good.
I don't
Hobo
know.
Myers. Yeah.
Yeah, the second one was definitely really, really bad. Although, I kind of wish they had done a third one because I would have liked to have seen that crazy, bitchy Laurie Strode as a murderer. I wouldn't have mind seeing her going crazy and murdering people as she was looking at the
Zombie
end of
ain't
that
made a
movie.
good movie since Devil's Rejects. So
Yeah, Devil's
Well-
Rejects is a classic. I will say that.
Well, I
Definitely
just
love
tried to
Devil's
watch
Rejects.
the Monsters too, and yeah, that was.
exactly, dude. I got 10 minutes in that movie, and I was like, "And garbage, turn off."
Yeah, I already knew I wasn't going to even touch that, unfortunately. But
Yeah, I like 2018 his return, but I also like the kills in Kills. Like the
Kills had great kills, like the scene with the light tube.
Oh yeah, that was my
yeah.
favorite.
I didn't really care. I liked the Halloween 2018. I did not really care for Halloween.
So
Kills
here's the
much.
thing. Halloween Kills, it's like the whole evil dies tonight. That
Yeah,
literally
it was
got
just some
so
cringy stuff. Yeah,
very cringy, but there's some great kills, like the light tube kill. The
That and they channeled
the girls-
Halloween 2, putting Laurie in the hospital the entire movie. Right?
yeah, right. The
Scene with the cars in the parking lot.
the car, yep, that scene was very intense. The scene where the daughter's like kind of like love interest got like destroyed right in front of her.
yeah.
That was crazy. Yeah, so there was some really
Breaking
good
his
kills.
neck coming down the
Yeah,
steps
and his
whatnot.
dad was just like crunched in half in the attic. Like, yeah, there were some really good kills. There's just the plot was a little cringy. That's a good word for it. Like the whole evil dies tonight thing and them saying it
Yeah,
over and over again was just a
We
little.
really got
cringy.
to see. Usually, we just find Michael's victims. This time, we actually got to see like Michael playing.
And then right, and then they beat the shit out of him. Like they beat the living pulp out of him. He just stands up and annihilates all of them
Yeah.
basically.
He's
so.
he's
I
really
knew that it
slow.
was
He's like,
coming.
it's my turn now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He's like, oh, that's cool.
With his 3 finger, my turn.
My germs. Bro, if we got a 6 scale of that, dude, grab my strong hand.
I'm gonna kill you
Stick
with
it
my
up.
strong hand.
Stick it up in the honey hole.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, if we got a
Grab
6 scale
on to my
figure of him or
strong
like
hand.
Brenda, that'd be amazing.
Speaking of Werewolf by Night, you remember how the trailer showed us Man Thing? I hope, at least with the
Yeah.
show, we get Man Thing and Werewolf by Night as figures. Yeah. Do it,
That'd
Hot
be
Toys.
cool, man. Right, that'd be
Some
really
horror
cool.
figures.
Yeah, Peyton, we were talking about this earlier. And CMB and I have kind of talked about Hellraiser extensively behind the scenes, but the reviews are really good, man. Yeah, the reviews are really good, and Pinhead's easily my favorite killer, and I'm very intrigued by what I've seen so far. I think the Cenobites look incredible. They look menacing. They look gross. The fact that they are basically all made of flesh is very reminiscent of Clive Barker's original Vision. So, and the fact that he had so much involvement in it, it's just like a recipe for a success, really. Once I saw
And
what
Doug
I
Bradley
saw,
said Jamie Clayton's
Right.
portrayal of the Hell Priest, he gave her a 10 out of 10.
right, and if Doug Bradley, the original Pinhead, is
Yep.
saying that, then you know you got a winner on your
Yeah.
hands. So
Exactly. If he's blessing you to take on the mantle as the Hell Priest, and he gives you a 10 out of 10, then this movie is definitely worth watching. And like
Yeah.
you were saying, the whole finally getting, I mean, the leather thing was cool for the 80s and all that, you know.
right, and it
But now
worked.
the
I think they
whole
looked
take- yeah,
badass,
it worked,
but
yeah. Now we're getting the fact that, you know, they're using their flesh to actually make outfits. I think that's awesome. Like you said, Clive
Yeah.
Barker is actually getting to see his vision from what he had originally actually come out, because, you know, stuff's gotten better with Hollywood, you know, movie effects,
right.
prosthetics, all
Yep.
of that.
Mm-hmm. Matt, I hope so. It's very possible that maybe Sideshow didn't show stuff off yet because they're waiting for Hot Toys to announce it first, because that has happened in the past as well. Hot Toys has announced the stuff and then Sideshow shows it off the next day. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. As we said earlier, today was quite the snooze fest. I wasn't too excited about that, but hey. Guys, this about wraps it up for tonight. Once again, thank you all for being here as always, and thank you for the support. If you haven't yet entered into the giveaway, definitely check out the giveaway video on the channel. Get yourself subscribed if you haven't already, and give yourself a chance to win that Harley Quinn hot toy from the Arkham series. Also, if you haven't liked this video yet, drop a like on this video. You know our goal is always 50 likes so we can harass Lane to grow a beard. So
yeah, keep telling yourself that.
we're gonna keep telling ourselves that. So but yeah, of course, guys, thank you so much for being here. I know there was a lot of stuff going on today. We had other streams, we had Sideshow doing their thing, but you guys were here engaged and hanging out with us and having good conversation.
Thank you, everybody.
Matt, of course, Matt, thank you for being here. We couldn't do the stream without people like you, so thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Sean, for sitting in a hospital bed and kind of tuning in where you can. That's quite extreme dedication.
That's
yeah, for
passion.
sure. Everybody, wish Sean well in the chats. We wish Sean a speedy recovery. So Sean's actually in the hospital right now. Sean, I don't know if you want me to say what actually happened, so I'm not going to, but if you would like to share before you head out, feel free.
What the heck, dude?
Yeah, so that's why Sean's
so-
kind of been popping in and out.
Yeah, Tuesday I had a heart attack. So
Oh my
kind of
gosh,
not
man.
expecting it. And then Wednesday took my daughter to orthodontics and started having a heart attack there. So I've been in the hospital ever since.
Oh my gosh.
So, but they went in and
Serious,
they did a stint on me. So
Like it up for Sean.
And his
So
crazy
Sean-
ass is on stream. Look at him.
Yeah.
Fight-
So Sean,
Hey,
I
double
know.
F in the chats for Sean. Double F.
Hell yeah.
Sean's ready for
Double the
a,
respect, because he's a trooper.
next
Look at
week
that.
he'll be ready for his marathon.
He said he had
No
he had
marathon,
an attack on
no.
Tuesday, and literally was like, "Nah, screw it. I got to take my daughter to school Wednesday." That's a trooper, man.
Yeah.
That's a trooper. Double F in the chats for Sean.
And that's how you know he's dedicated to the hot toys. This man is a real collector. Which everybody talks about real collectors.
Dude, he
There's
could be
your
in a
real collector.
coma. You bring in a hot toy, he'll wake up.
Yeah,
gotta
if you're not in
bring
the
in a new-
hospital bed.
you gotta bring in a new hot toy and then open the box, and then, so he can smell the box. Like, huh? What's up? Who
He
ordered
comes
a
back
hot
to
toy?
life. They're like,
Yeah.
he's coding, and they bring a Hot Toys box, and he's like, oh, he comes back to life.
Oh my god, it's a brand new hot toy. Yes.
Bring him
You
the
saved my
neon tech to
life.
tell him to get that shit out of here.
Dude, I need to do a brand new segment. Hospital bed unboxings.
Well, Sean, hopefully you're out of there by tomorrow, so you don't have to do that.
Well, if they
Like,
did do that,
Sean's like,
Sean,
I'm
you
so
just better
cool
hope they
that
don't
I
bring
don't
a
have to
neon
unbox
tech to
them.
you.
He's like, I got these nurses to unbox them for me. Yeah,
Oh, there you go. There you go. That'll bring you some viewers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Avengers have a Hulk. We have a Sean in a hospital bed.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Let him know.
But thank you, everybody, so far who's wished Sean good wishes in the chat. We appreciate you. Hopefully he'll be out by tomorrow, and he'll be back to his normal routine slowly. But that's it, guys. I do have some stuff planned for the channel. As you guys know, I've been having issues with my computer. So far, knock on wood, the last thing I did has helped. Like the stream, for the most part, seems like it's been very less buggy, very much less buggy on my end. So hopefully I sorted out my issues, but that's why I haven't put any videos up. So I'm sorry about that. I had a couple planned. I just couldn't do anything about it. The computer was so frustrating, guys, but we're here. I wasn't going to miss a stream. Certainly if Sean isn't going to miss a stream and he's in a hospital bed, there's no way in hell I'm missing a stream. So I was going to fight through it regardless, but
No excuses. Sean has set the bar high.
yeah, now
For
we're
real.
screwed. Like if I get shot or
He has set the bar high for
Right.
everybody now.
if I get shot or
Sean's like,
something, I'm
if I-
screwed.
He's like, no excuses for any streamers. I did it from a hospital bed.
That might be a first.
no.
It very well might be a first. The first Hot Toys streamer in a hospital bed.
Set the bar extremely high for everybody.
Streaming live from the cardiac unit, the one, the only, the Hot Toys Nightmare. Yes. Right.
Dun, 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 dun.
And then he
Dun,
bounces off the
dun,
ropes.
Oh, playing that Elvis.
Right. But yeah, guys, hopefully this week I'll be back in the swing of things with recording and stuff. I'm absolutely, for those who care, I will absolutely be doing a review of The Crow. As you guys know, I try to review stuff that I just really, really am excited about. So definitely expect a review for The Crow next week. That figure is definitely going to be exciting.
If your review shows that figure is worth buying, then damn you, because I told you I'd get it after your review
Yeah.
if it was worth it.
Yeah, dude, I have high hopes for it. Like I said, with the horror stuff, I guess unless your Freddy is missing a claw, but that's crazy. I didn't notice that. It's got to be in the box somewhere. If not, Sideshow will take care of me. But
Take a picture and they'll send you a new one. You'll have two
Right.
claws.
right. But yeah, so I'll be putting up a review for The Crow. That's all I have that I would like to share right now, because I got some other stuff I'm working on in the background. But Chris, anything crazy new going on the channel? Are you still cooking things up?
Yeah, so I just got this guy today.
There you go. So that's the Trick or Treat Studios 2018, right?
Yes, sir.
That one is on my list. That one is
I
on my
will
list.
be unboxing him, and he will be on the channel. I figured it's close to the movie anyway, and it's my October-esque thing to do for the channel. So that should be up. I'm close to 300 subs, 15 away. If you subscribe, you will be entered into my giveaway for $100. So more
There you
free
go.
stuff on this channel, on this side as well. To
There you
any
go, guys.
collectible shop that you want, Sideshow, WWE shop, whatever you want.
Oh, and also, guys, side note, thanks for Chris for bringing it up. We did hit 100 members in the Facebook group. So don't worry. Once we finish this giveaway, we will give away the $25 gift card. It's just I don't want to kind of run them at the same time because I don't want to get confused. But also, I want to give you guys two separate chances to win without everything being jumbled together. So, but yeah, head on over to Collecting Madness and subscribe if you haven't already. Get him to that 300 mark, guys. He works really hard on his channel, so I'm sure he would really, really appreciate that. We, of course, always appreciate your guys' support.
Absolutely.
Sean, I don't know if you have anything planned right now because of the situation you're in, but if you would like to say anything before we head out, or if you actually have anything planned, maybe you've been planning from your hospital bed. Maybe that's what you've been doing with your time.
Yeah. I'm gonna After this conversation, I want to try and do the first hospital bed unboxing.
Do you have a figure with you?
No, but I could get one.
I was gonna say
Oh
it's
my
Sean.
God.
He could literally be like, "Hey, just deliver the figure." Call UPS, be like, "I need to change delivery." And
Here, I need to hear a stat.
Have somebody bring.
I'm
it
out of
to
here
them.
tomorrow.
Yeah, if that happens, literally, I can't ever quit now.
No, yeah,
So-
exactly.
Excuses.
I will. I'm considering it if I can make that happen, because that would be really hilarious.
I agree. It would
I'll
be
share
funny.
it tenfold.
I would literally title it "First Hot Toys Hospital Bed Unboxing."
Hey, I think you're already the first person to stream from a hospital dev in terms of hot toys, but yeah, that'd be
That's
hilarious.
exactly it. That's the first. Like I said, Sean's already set the bar high, man. Nobody's got
Yeah.
excuses anymore. Nobody can say, "Oh man, I was feeling a little sick, like I had a stomach ache, I just couldn't do it." And then somebody's gonna post the video of Sean. This guy did it from a hospital bed.
Right? You get shot. Oh, sorry guys, I'm late. I got shot in the shoulder. I'm here though. I'm just bleeding a little bit.
Okay, you got shot in the shoulder. Sean had a heart attack too,
Right.
2
and
times.
he came
That-
on,
yeah,
and then he had
thanks,
surgery.
Sean.
Yeah, I'm gonna
No
use it in every
excuses.
conversation too, even if they don't
Hey.
know you. I'll be like, "Well, Sean had a heart attack and he was on live stream."
Yeah.
Who's that?
Right.
You know, every
That's gonna be the
collector.
new
Bro.
thing.
Yeah, it's like no one can ever get out of their own streams anymore.
Yep. That's why I said you set the bar too high. It's too high.
It's like, yeah, Hurricane Ian like wiped out the internet. Well, Sean was online with a heart attack.
Right. Yeah. Thanks, man. Appreciate you. As always, CMB, it was great to have you, dude. Whenever you're free, you're always welcome, as you know. And it was good to have someone here to celebrate the love for the Sam figure and all the horror stuff, because as I always say, the horror stuff does not get enough love, as you guys know. Us horror
man.
collectors are few and far between right now. But Lane, did you have anything to add before we close out here for the night?
Nope, unfortunately, I am not having anything as interesting as everybody else right now.
Well, that's okay, Lane, because usually you're the one that gives us words of wisdom before we close out. So we'll give you a break for tonight. That's all we got for you, everybody.
It's being great. That's all I can say.
Oh, man. It's such a hard thing to follow. But thank you, everybody, for being here once again. If you're watching this on the replay, I hope you have a great night. Thank you for watching. And we will see you next week. And, guys, hopefully I'll have that Crow review out before next week's stream. We'll see how quickly it gets to me. It did just ship out yesterday. So you guys know, for me on the East Coast, Sideshow shipping takes forever. But anyways, that's all we got. Have a great night. If you guys are going out and seeing the Terrifier and stuff, definitely let us know in the comments on the stream what you thought of it, because I'm very curious to see who's going to go out and see that movie. Also, Hellraiser. Let us know what you think of Hellraiser in the comments below if you're watching this on replay. But take care, everybody. Have a wonderful Thursday night.